welcome
to Sort of the Story.
To a little podcast called Sort of the Story.
Oh, we got a little podcast.
Okay, we podcast. Sorry, if this is your first episode, welcome. This is a podcast where we tell each other stories like fairy tales, folktales, and mythology. And my name is Janey.
And my name is Max.
And also,
you are here.
Hi.
Hi.
What? Okay, I'm sorry. Keep listening. I promise. It'll be better. If this is your first episode, I promise we'll do better.
We won't do better, but we will do different. So.
This podcast is not for children. They'll hear those amazing accents and think they're in England. Jolly old England. So.
Yeah. And then they'll turn into urchins.
And you don't want that. They'll be picking your pockets.
No.
Climbing up your chimneys. Biting you. What do urchins do?
Newspapers and...
loogies.
Yep, and loogies. Drowning in the Thames.
You'll be drowning in the Thames before you know it. You have to get your children out of the room.
Yes.
Okay. Well, hi. Hi, Max.
Hey, Janey.
Max, I feel like we haven't recorded in a while.
I know.
I
long time no
see.
see.
So long. Wow, you look taller.
Thank you. I feel taller.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. You look the same.
Smaller.
No.
I shrunk. I got bangs.
You did get bangs.
Yeah, I feel like myself
forgot.
again for the first time in months.
Oh my god, did I not even notice that you got bangs?
You did.
I noticed that your hair looked cute.
You said, cute bangs.
I feel like I didn't process that you didn't have bangs before and then you did have bangs. I was just like, oh, your bangs look cute today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's because I'm supposed to have bangs.
I think so.
Yeah.
You look good without bangs, but
I'm supposed to have bangs.
Is classic Janey.
Classic Janey. This isn't interesting to you if you don't know what I look like. Just imagine somebody super cute. She has bangs now.
She's cute without them, but she's also really cute with them.
Yeah, she's got a great ass. Anyway, that's me. It's nice to meet you. Max.
Yeah.
I think we should just jump into it. But first, I think we should tell them to rate and review this podcast, please.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Hey, you guys,
Podcasts.
Rate and review this podcast on Apple Podcasts and other places.
If you could. Give us a fun little review.
Yeah. Also tell your friends.
Yeah, tell them how good I look with bangs.
Honestly, for me, if you make your friends listen to this podcast, that is worth as much to me as a rating or review is to Janey, because I feel like we are weird. And so if we get you to like us, then people who like you might also like us, and you should tell them so. But also, if you want to keep us to yourself, that's also fine. No,
here, I don't care about that. I want you to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts.
Do both, but also tell your friends.
I need public credit. All right. Also, if you want to hang out with us some more, and we know you do, it's a fun...
What? You want to spend time with us?
A cheeky little whippets.
Us tricky little whippets.
If you'd like to hang out with us, you can for $7.
For $7 or even $3.
Maybe $3.
If you have $3 or $7, you can join us on the Patreon. The link for that is in the show notes for this episode and every episode. For $3 a month, you get access to the Discord where you get to hang out with us on the Discord.
It's wonderful where you'll be. Over there. It's wonderful over there.
It's so good. I feel really bad. I was off for a little while because I was really stressed out at work, and I came back and everyone was just being so sweet to each other and to me.
It's been a really positive couple weeks on the Discord.
Yeah.
Everyone's been like sharing their accomplishments or their worries, and everyone's been like boosting them up.
Yeah. Also, congrats to Jefflo Jill on passing your assessment.
Hey, Jefflo Jill, you are now certified gifted teacher, and I am proud of you. That's fucking hard.
It is. Yeah. We're super proud. So yeah, that's $3 a month. For $7 a month, you get access to a full-length bonus episode every single month, in addition to the regular episodes and Discord access.
Yeah, and the bonus episodes are fun.
Yeah, promise. Full-length episode.
With extra bits at the end.
Extra little bits.
Yeah. And you get to be in charge of those bits.
Yeah. They're your bits.
We're just giving them to you. All right. Well, Max.
Janey.
This episode, as you pointed out, is coming out on March 13th.
Yes.
Which means it's our St. Patrick's Day episode.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So we're going to be telling Irish stories this week.
Yeah. Little Irish stories.
Oh, classic little Irish stories.
From us. Classic little Irish lasses.
That's actually deeply offensive.
Yeah, no, it's not great. Listen, England, go fuck yourself this week.
Yeah. Genuinely.
Pay them.
Give them everything.
Okay, well, with that, I don't know. I feel I got nervous. Let's pause it for like 1 second and then come back and I'll tell you a little ditty.
A little ditty?
The littlest did he ever did done.
Aww.
Okay, bye. Okay, Max.
Okay, Janey.
Max, okay. Today I'm going to be telling you one of my favorite stories of all time.
Mm-hmm.
This is the story of the birth and then the death of Oísin. I had told you this before, but I have always loved this. Is like a story of Tir, like the classic story of Tir na Nog and the fairy place and all that stuff in Ireland. And I've always loved this story, but I always assume everybody has heard this story. And so in the beginning, we actually mentioned it quite a bit in the earlier episodes, and we kind of reference it, and we're like, but everyone's heard that story, and then we move on. And so this is me saying sorry to anybody who hasn't heard that story, who's heard the references, because now we're like almost 4 years into this podcast, which is wild.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm realizing that not everybody is us.
Well.
So...
Yeah, it's a classic for a reason. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The book I'm taking the first part of this from is J.K. Jackson, our boy.
A boy.
It's Irish Folk and Fairy Tales. It's from the Fables, Folklore, and Ancient Stories collections, and this is the collector's edition, so it's fucking gorgeous.
It's so pretty. It's all like different shades of green and like green foiling, and then the pages are all copper foiled.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I have a couple of these books. They look gorgeous on the shelf. So they're linked in the bio if you want some pretty books that are filled with genuinely well edited and collected stories.
Yes.
Because J.K. Jackson is our most trusted fable resource.
He's a good boy.
In my head, he's like young and hot.
Are you picturing Jake Jackson?
No.
Jake
Johnson? No.
Jack?
I'm picturing I'm picturing like a clean cut brunette man.
You're picturing Jack Johnson?
No. No. No.
You picturing J. Jonah Jameson?
No, and I'm not picturing Michael Jackson. I don't know. Think of a clean-cut brunette man who you trust to take care of you. Patrick Bateman.
No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
All right. So this is the birth and death of Oísin, partly from Irish folk and fairy tales. So one day, the hero Finn, who's a classic mythological Irish hero.
Finn McCool, which
Finn
loosely
McCool.
Translates to Finn the Cool.
Finn the Cool one. And he is. The hero Finn was out hunting with his friends and his dogs, right? He has this group of warriors who are like his best friends. They're called the Finna, and they like to go out hunting. I didn't put this in the story, but there's like requirements that they had to reach in order to be part of the Finna. And it was like, you have to be able to like jump like 25 feet in the air over a log without running. You have to be able to like duck on like basically do limbo underneath like a 1 inch thing. Like there's like a lot of really wild like magical requirements you have to fit in order to be part of his cool gang.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a bunch of heroes. They're also all giant because back then all the old Irish heroes were all like giants.
Yeah. Finn McCool in the gang.
Finn McCool. Oh my god. Oh my god, Max. You're so cool and hot.
Thank you.
All right. So the hero Finn, who I just described, he's out hunting with his friends and his dogs. His two favorite hounds were named Bran and Sciolin, and he brought them with him everywhere, right? They were really his best friends. And then everyone else had their dogs.
Mm-hmm.
These hounds were not normal hounds. They were actually magical. His aunt, her name was Tyrion, she had been changed into a hound by a fairy woman because the fairy woman had fallen in love with her husband, and so she had, like, enchanted her. And
Not a girl's girl.
I know. And then Tyrion had given birth to Bran and Sciolin while she was still a hound. So, like, these, like, little puppies were born, but they're obviously not normal. They're, like, they think like humans.
Like the opposite of, like, the Remus and Romulus story, kind of, in a way?
Remus and Romulus were, like, fed by a wolf, right? Like, they were born to humans, but they were, like, raised by a wolf.
Or is that, what am I thinking of? Am I thinking of in the Volsung saga?
You might be thinking about
Sigurd and Sigismund.
They, like, became wolves.
Yeah, a lot of wolf folk.
This, a little bit, is more like Norse mythology. It's more like the Fenrir story of, like, the wolf who is born... Like, Loki has a wolf son, and he can talk to humans, and he's there. Bran and Sciolin don't talk to humans. They don't, like, speak English or Irish, but they have the mental capability of humans, basically. But they're also dogs.
Oh, so they can, like, count?
Yeah, they can do math. Okay, so this is the quote from the story. Of all the hounds in Ireland, they were the best, and Finn loved them much, so that it was said he wept but twice in his life, and once was for the death of Bran.
Aww.
They were literally his cousins, so that, like, makes sense. These are his actual relatives.
Yeah.
All of the other stories, Skillen is also his favorite dog. Like, he loves Skillen, but Bran is in every single Finn McCool story. Like, he saves his life countless times. Like, they have, like, this bond that is really intense. So it makes sense that he would cry when Bran dies.
Yeah.
Okay, so Finn and his party are chasing this beautiful fawn through the forest, right? They see the fawn and the dogs all take after them. And they're chasing it down, like, the valley side through trees. And eventually, Finn and his dogs outrun the rest of the party because they're cooler, hotter, faster than everyone else.
Sure.
And soon, it was just the three of them in pursuit. And then suddenly, Finn saw something really strange that he had never seen before in all his years of hunting and hanging out in the forest. The fawn, once she realized that it was just him and his dogs, she stopped running and she laid down in, like, a patch of grass. And even more strange, Bran and Skillen, who are, like, trained hunting hounds, instead of, like, killing her immediately, they began to jump around her. They started licking her all over and rolling around and just playing. And then she started rolling around and playing with them.
Aww.
And Finn comes up and he's like, what the fuck is happening? What? What are you guys doing? And so he sits there and he's watching them for a while and he's thinking, this is really fucking weird. And then the rest of his party starts coming up and Finn's like, absolutely not. Get control of your dogs. We're not hurting this fawn. There's something strange about her and I trust my dogs. So, like, they've given her a pass. She gets to live. And so he tells them all, leave her alone. And they all start to walk back to where they live, which is Dune of Allen. And this fawn follows them all the way back to Dune of Allen. She's just part of their thing. And the whole time it says, quote, playing with the hounds as she went.
Aw.
I know.
She's like, good game, guys. All right. Let's hit the showers.
Licking each other and running around with their little fawn legs. I'm obsessed.
Okay. Have you seen... I know that it's not good and people shouldn't necessarily do it. And I know that it's complicated. But the pictures of Audrey Hepburn with her pet deer...
it was in Pippin with her.
Yes.
That was her co-star in Pippin. Yeah, no, those are fucking beautiful. There's, like, specific deers that are, like, domesticated little deers. Like, little, I think the dwarf deers or something like that.
Maybe.
They're super cute. Yeah, those are, like, there's lots of, like, domesticated deers. Deer. Little deers. That night, Finn woke in the middle of the night and he's like, wait, hold on. His eyes are adjusting. He looks around and then he realizes there is a beautiful woman standing next to his bed. And he's like, whoa, hello. And she kind of smiles at him and she says, quote, I am Saba, O Finn, and I was the fawn you chased today. And he's like, cool. Okay. And she...
No, you're a lady.
You're a lady. She explained that she had been cursed by a druid of the fairy folk named the Dark.
Ooh.
Yes.
Like spelled regular style?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, without an E. He had come on to her 3 years ago, and he's basically like, I want to marry you. And she had been like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. And because she had refused him, he turned her into a deer as punishment.
Sure.
Quote, but a slave of his, pitying me, once revealed to me that if I could win to thy great Dune of Allen, O Finn, I should be safe from all enchantments and my natural shape would come to me again. End quote. So the Dune of Allen, which I'm sorry for all the pronunciations in this story, but I'm but human. The Dune of Allen is an ancient ceremonial site. It is on the hill of Knockeileen in County Kildare, Ireland. And now it's, like, flat. Like, there's nothing there. It basically looks like this, like, patch of flat grass with, like, a ditch around it. But there are, like, archaeologists have found, like, proof that there used to be, like, these huge timber. It was a henge at one point with, like, timber instead of stones. And they were like, this is clearly this was an ancient Irish, like, ceremonial ground. Possibly, like, there was castles and stuff near it.
Yeah.
So she said, like, in order for the curse to get broken, I had to make it to Dune of Allen. As soon as I reached this, like, henge, then I would be a woman again. But she was afraid to go there because she's human. She knows there's hunters and dogs. She's like, I would have never made it into this because your dogs are so good at hunting deer that, like, there was no way I could ever hope to do that. But she had heard of Finn and his dogs, Bran and Skillen, and she was like, they're not just dogs, they think like humans. I knew that they would recognize me. She's like, I just had this faith. And so she had been waiting for 3 years to see this hunting party come by, and so then she had chased them away, and that had been her plan. And Bran and Skillen, because they're good boys, had been like, oh, cool, you're cool. And Finn saw their behavior and immediately trusted their judgment. And she's like, and I guessed right. So that's cool and hot of me.
Nice.
Finn at this point was like, you don't have to be afraid anymore. I will protect you. You're safe here. All of us here, we're free, and nobody govern, like, nobody governs us. He basically governs them. But he's like, everybody here is free, and you are free, and you can stay here if you want, and we'll protect you. Also, if you're interested, you could be my wife, because holy shit, you're so pretty. And she was like, yeah, no, that's why I'm here. I want to be your wife. Like, that's why I came into your bedroom to say, thanks. Do you want to be my husband?
Cute.
Yeah. So the two fell in love and they got married. He fell so hard for her that for literally months, he did not leave her side. Like, they were in this honeymoon phase where they were just in their bedroom all day, every day. And, like, they would come out basically attached at the hip. And he wasn't hunting at all. And he wasn't doing any work. And his friends were just like, dude, you're king, basically. Stop it. So all they wanted to do was hang out with each other all day long. Didn't go to any battles. Didn't do anything. But eventually, after months of being super clingy, he got word that there were Northmen coming in warships to the Bay of Dublin. And so he was like, all right, well, honeymoon's over. I gotta go to work. He summoned all his men to fight and prepare to go defend Dublin. And Saba was like, do you really have to go? And he said, well, the men of Erin paid tribute to us in exchange for our protection. They have for years. And it would be really shitty if I just stayed here to hang out with my wife and I let them get massacred. Like, that's
sure.
Not cool.
Yeah. So
there's this hero. His name is Gol MacMorna. They say that he's an uneasy ally of the Finna. But he has a whole mythology by himself of how he and Finn became, like, reluctant allies together and best friends. And he literally quotes her. At this point, she's like, you know, I wish you didn't have to go. And he says, quote, a man lives after his life, but not after his honor. So basically, he's like, after I die, then yes, heroic stories will be told of me and I'll live forever. But I can't let an innocent place get slaughtered after they literally paid us to protect them. Like, that's not honorable.
Yeah.
And that will ruin my reputation. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Gol MacMorna, that's what he said. And that was the type of person he was. I need you to see how hot he was.
Oh my God.
I know. I, like, gasped when I saw this.
That's a comically hot man. This is long, beautiful, flowing hair. Truly, he looks like, okay, I'm not a fan necessarily of Liam Hemsworth, but he looks like Liam Hemsworth with an eye patch and long, beautiful, flowing hair.
He looks like Liam Hemsworth a little bit as The Witcher.
Yeah.
If you aren't comparing him to Henry Cavill, for sure.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, he's comically beautiful.
That's wild.
It's the eye patch. He's like the one-eyed hero.
Yeah.
And also, I'm into a man with an eye patch.
Listen. When is that picture from? Is that like a...
That's recent. That's yesterday. So he's alive.
No.
I don't know. It's just
okay. Well, whoever did that illustration, good work.
I should have looked up who did that. I couldn't find an artist. And then
it seems newish.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look up that illustration. I'll try to put it in the source notes. Okay, so basically, Finn was like, I made a promise, I have to go. He was only gone for 7 days, and he drove the Northmen from the shores of Erin pretty easily. But when he returned on the 8th day, he immediately knew something was wrong. All the people looked devastated, and they were just like, nobody was coming to greet him. They were like inside like his fort, and they were just terrified. And Saba wasn't there to greet him. Mm-hmm. And so he was like, what happened? And they're like, well, maybe you should come inside. And he's like, no, tell me what happened. I'm not coming inside. Tell me where my wife is. And they were like, okay, well, while you were gone, Saba looked out every day. She waited for your return. She was out on that balcony just watching because she was really anxious for you to come home. And she was like heartbroken without you here. And so, that's what she was doing. And then one day, they all saw him walking up to the dune. And with him were 2 hounds, Brown and Skillen. And then in the distance, they heard the Fionn hunting call blowing on the wind. And they were like, oh my God, okay, they're back. That was really soon. And since the dogs were like running at his feet and he's running up to the gates, Saba immediately was like, oh my God, he's back. And so she ran down and ran to the gate to go greet him. She was so fast that no one could stop her. And like, why would they?
Yeah.
Like they were like, that's clearly him. We all see him. Quote, but when she came near, she halted and gave a loud and bitter cry, and the shape of thee smote her with a hazel wand, and lo, there was no woman there anymore, but a deer.
Oh.
And then the hounds that were with him started to chase the deer and like snap at it and were just growling. The deer tried to come back to the gates. It started like running, but the hounds kept cutting it off and driving it back. And so the men in the dune at this point were like, oh fuck, that's not him. And they all grabbed their weapons and they ran out to help. But by the time they got out there, the enchanter was gone, and so were the deer and the dogs. And they could hear it being chased through the forest. So they all chased it into the forest to try to get it. But every man heard the sounds of the dogs like barking in different directions. Like every man was like, it's coming from there. And he would like take off. But another man was like, it's clearly coming from back there. And they were just like so confused. There was no way for them to follow. Saba was gone.
Holy shit.
Terrifying, right?
Yeah.
I hate that doppelganger thing. Absolutely not.
That's one of my favorite like tropes also. And it is, I think, predominantly like Gaelic and Nordic. Mm-hmm. The trope of like the mist that you like
that confuses you,
the mist that deceives, sort of, where like you hear sounds coming from all around you and everything is confused. That's one of the most terrifying things in the world to me.
It's so scary.
Yeah.
Quote, Finn then struck his hand on his breast but spoke no word, and he went to his own chamber. So he was like, oh fuck, there's literally no way that you could have helped her. Just the image of him like slamming his hand on his heart is awful. He didn't come out for the rest of the day or the day after. Eventually, though, he did come out again, and he took up his role as leader again. But for 7 full years, he searched for Saba in every glen and dark forest and cavern in Ireland. Any free moment he had, he was out there looking for his wife. The only hounds he'd take with him were Bran and Skillen. But he lost hope that he'd ever see her again after 7 years. He was like, I think she might be dead. Yeah. Like, I don't know. And so he started hunting again and moving on with his life. Then, one day, as he was following a chase on Ben Gulbin in Sligo, the baying of the dog suddenly turned into fierce growling and yelping, like they were fighting some sort of really big beast, right? And so all the people were like, oh fuck, did they run into a bear? Like, what's happening? So Finn and his men ran to where the sounds were coming from, and they saw, under a great tree, a naked little boy with really long hair.
Aww.
All around him, hounds were trying to attack him. Like, all these dogs were just, like, going at him. But Bran and Skillen were fighting them off and protecting the little boy fiercely.
Aww.
And so Finn ordered his heroes. He's like, control your fucking dogs. And so they all, like, managed to grab their dogs. And, like, they had to, like, beat some of them away. Like, the dogs went feral when they saw this kid. And they brought the little boy home with them. And it's also, while the dogs were attacking, this kid wasn't cowering. He was, like, staring really angrily out at them, like, fucking do it. Like, I fucking dare you. Like, this little boy.
Shit.
Yeah. The whole way home, Finn could not stop staring at this little kid because he was like, I know those eyes. I know this kid. I recognize this child. So he was just, like, immediately, like, just could not stop staring. Eventually, after a couple months, years, the little boy learned to speak, and he told Finn his story. He was like, I never knew my father or mother, but I was raised by a gentle hind. So he had been raised by a little deer. Mm-hmm. They lived together in a, quote, most green and pleasant valley, shut in on every side by towering cliffs that could not be scaled or by deep chasms in the earth, end quote. So they're in this, like, beautiful, verdant place, but it's impossible to get out of. It's like a cage.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, a tall, dark man would visit them in this place. The man would sometimes speak to the deer tenderly, and sometimes he would scream and rage and menace her, but every time she shrank away in fear, and he always left really angry. So that's his whole childhood. And then one day, quote, when the dark man spoke very long with his mother in all tones of entreaty and of tenderness and of rage, but she would still keep aloof and give no sign of fear or abhorrence, the man took out a hazel wand and smote her.
Mm.
Then he turned and started to walk away, and to the boy's horror, the deer followed. And she kept looking back at him, and the deer was crying and kind of, like, whining and trying to, like, stop, but she couldn't help. Her feet were still following him. So the little boy immediately tried to follow, but he was unable to move his limbs. He was just frozen in place, and he cried and screamed with rage and sorrow, and he was just screaming for his mom, and he just had to watch her disappear as she walked away. And eventually he was so overcome with emotions that he collapsed to the ground. And when he woke up, he was on the mountainside on Ben Gulbin all alone. He fended for himself for days, and the whole time he kept trying to, like, make it back to that green place, but he never found it again. And after a while, the dogs found him, and he never heard from his mother or the druid ever again.
Mm.
So Finn ended up calling him Oísin, which means little deer.
Oh, no.
And he became a famous warrior in his own right. Quote, so that all things to this day that are told of the Finna of Erin, men are wont to say, so sang the bard Oísin, son of Finn. End quote. So he was the bard. Like, that's what they called him. Oísin was the bard of their group. Mm-hmm. He was also a fierce warrior. He was super hot. But that was his origin story.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the story of his birth from Irish folk and fairy tales. I'm going to tell you about his death, too, but what'd you think?
Oh, my God.
I know! What a traumatic beginning.
I don't know if you know this. Does anyone ever see Saba again?
No.
God damn it.
Yeah.
And if I was Finn, I would be hunting down that fucking enchanter.
Yeah. I think he does. I think a lot of his stories are him trying to find... I don't think he ever gives up the search for Saba, but... Yeah. I don't think he ever finds her.
God.
I know. All right. So I do want to... This is going to be brief, but I want to continue Oisín's story because he has an epic story. When he grew up, Oísin was a fierce warrior, just like his father, and he was revered by everyone, and, like, he was a hero in his own right. Like, he really made his own way, and he was super famous. And then one day, when he was out hunting deer with the Finna, which I think is dark, they were approached by a beautiful woman riding on a white horse. And she told them, quote, I am Niamh of the golden hair, and my father is king of Tir na Nog. I have heard of a great warrior named Oísin. I have come to find him and ask him to return with me to the land of the young. If you don't know, Tir na Nog is basically the land of fairies, right? That's like the easiest way to do it.
Yeah, it's...
beautiful, immortal creatures live there.
Yes. It's kind of a couple of things in terms of how it relates to Ireland. I believe Tir na Nog is always considered like an identical Ireland that is like kind of like a step sideways. Yeah. So it's like everything looks the same, but it's inhabited by these like ethereal creatures. And there are like ways that you can get into it that you might have to travel to, but it's like close at hand at all times. Yeah. It's like a veil kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so Niamh is from Tir na Nog. And so she's like, where's Oísin? I want to take him back with me to my home. I'm here to pick up my husband, thank you. And Oisín's like, I've never seen a hotter woman in my life. I'm Oísin.
And everyone's like, no, I'm Oísin.
Shut up. He's immediately like, sounds fucking good. And he jumps on her horse and he waves goodbye to his dad, like, see you later. And Finn's like, all right, man, have a good time. I get it. I've also been enchanted by a fairy woman a time or two. Okay, so they ride off together into the sunset. They were gone for what felt like 3 years, and he was incredibly happy this entire time, right? The king and queen of Tir na Nog treated him really well. They were like, we have a hero here. Like, he was given a hero's welcome. He had children with Niamh. Life was amazing. But of course, he's not doing any battles. He's not hunting. He's not like doing any of the stuff that he loves to do. And he misses his family. Like, his family was everything to him. The Finna is his family. And so eventually he's like, Niamh, I really want to go back and see my dad. And Niamh is like, I don't think that's a good idea right now. And she would like distract him with like drinking and partying and playing with their children and doing all this stuff. And then he would eventually be like, I'm really missing my dad. Like, I really want to go home just to like visit. And eventually she realizes Oisín's never going to be happy unless he gets to go home again. So she put him on her horse and she was like, listen, no matter what happens, no matter what you see, you cannot get off this horse, okay? She's like, if your feet touch the earth, then you'll never be able to come back to Tir na Nog. You'll never see us again. And I really want you to come back. And he's like, I will come back. I promise. I won't get off this horse. And she's like, okay. And she watches him go. She like kisses him goodbye and she lets him leave. When he got to Earth, though, he realized that although it felt like 3 years in Tir na Nog, it had actually been 300 years on Earth. And so every person he had ever loved, he really quickly found out they were all dead. And not just that, nothing was left of his home or any of his memories. All the castles had crumbled. The Dune of Allen is completely level now. There's nothing there. And there's all these like strange structures and all like a bunch more people living there. And he's like walking through on his horse and he's like, oh my God. And so he spends like a couple of days wandering around on this horse, just like looking at how everything has changed and kind of mourning the fact that he missed 300 years of life on Earth. And then he starts to realize even the people are smaller. And he's like, how did this happen? It's like famine, bro.
Damn.
That's the English. Okay, so one day he saw some men on a farm and they were trying to lift this heavy stone out of the way of their field. And they see him and they're like, "You're huge. Can you help us?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can help you." And he's also like, "These men are so weak now. Like, that's a child in my time could have lifted that stone. And there's like 6 men here who can't get it up." And so he leaned down in his saddle to lift up this really heavy stone. But as he did so, the saddle strap snapped and he fell from his horse. As soon as he hit the earth, he began to age rapidly. The time was catching up to him, and the men were like, "Oh my God." Like, so they all fled in terror to go get help for him.
As you would. Can you imagine you're out in the field trying to lift a rock, and then you're like, "Hey, giant man, can you come help?" And he's like, "Yeah, of course." And he rides over and he tries to help, and then he falls off his horse and like withers and dies.
Starts just melting. Ah! That would be a hilarious prank.
That'd be a really good prank.
That's our April Fool's prank. We're going to fall off our horse and melt into nothing.
Just turn to dust like...
Yeah, classic us. And that was the end of the podcast.
God, you would have nightmares forever.
Yeah, we would ruin your lives. You wouldn't be able to like hold your babies the same way again. You're different now. Okay, according to the legend, the men picked up the old man who was now blind and aching all over and like rapidly dying, and they brought him to a monastery where the most holy of their priests, St. Patrick, sat with the dying man. St. Patrick tried to comfort Oísin, and he was like, "Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Let me tell you a couple of stories about how you could be saved. All you have to do is buy in right now."
$49.95.
There's only a couple spots left in heaven.
Call now.
Oh, wow. And here we are with the young hot models wearing old people's clothes. They're heaven robes. You can too. Anyway, so he tells him all about this like beautiful afterlife waiting for those who repented and gave themselves over to God. And he's doing all this stuff. So there's this YouTube video. I got this end story from a couple places, and I linked them in the show notes. There's this amazing YouTube video. It's a story of Oísin and Tir na Nog, but it's by a account called Folk Survival. And this is a quote from it. Quote, "Oísin didn't care much for Patrick's stories and countered with his own deeds of Tir na Nog and the Finna. In truth, though a great respect developed between them, neither believed the other." End quote. So they both liked the other person. They're both like, "I like the stories you're telling. They're not true," but that's nice. Because St. Patrick's like, "If you just like confess all your sins to me and you tell me that you are accepting Jesus Christ into your heart, then you get to go to a magical place that is heaven on earth and all this stuff."
And he's like, "I just came from
Finn
there."
is like, yeah, Finn's like, "Actually, I've been to Tir na Nog. I have a fairy wife and all these children, and my dad was a giant and really cool." And he's like, "Cool.
Really?
That's
Finn
a
McCool.
lie." I really love that. Like, they're both like, "Nice. He's full of shit."
I'm happy that you're happy.
Both of them. So I heard a version of the story years ago, right? Like when I first heard the story, I couldn't find the source that I heard it from. But I heard it was a YouTube video, and I searched and searched. I put a couple YouTube videos in the source notes, but they're not the ones that I heard. Anyway, but the one I heard said that Oísin listened to what St. Patrick said, and he heard all these beautiful promises and these entreaties to repent and go to heaven. He's like, "Just let me save you before you die." And Oísin, as this old man who's now like blind, was like, "Do you think my father, the hero Finn, who died 300 years ago, is in this heaven?" And St. Patrick thinks about it and he answers truthfully. He's like, "No, he wouldn't have known to repent 300 years ago. He wouldn't have known to be saved." And Oísin nodded and was like, "Then what is that heaven to me where my father's not allowed to go?" And he died holding St. Patrick's hands, both of them kind of respecting the fact that he was making a decision for the end of his life. And that's how he died. Was like, wherever I go, I'm fine with it if my dad is there.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's the end of Oísin.
God.
I know. I do have a couple pictures for you.
Yes. I didn't realize, this is the first time I've heard this story. I never realized before that he doesn't step off the horse.
No,
he doesn't make a
falls.
choice. He falls off the horse.
He's being helpful, and the strap breaks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so there's an element of fate to it.
Yeah. I never knew that detail. And that is like a huge thing because in all of the stories that are like this, it's like, oh, like someone tricks them off or they
they're being
forget,
stupid.
or like,
yeah,
no, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
And also I think if this was like a morality tale, it would be like, he forgot and he stepped off to help. What a good person, but he's dead now.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I do too. Okay, so here is Neve on her horse. These are from P.J. Lynch, these paintings I'm going to show you.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. There are... Puppy! There are 3 men, maybe 4, over on the left-hand side of the picture. 2 of them are young men with like long, like sandy brown hair and beards, holding spears. And there's a little like Irish wolfhound in front of them, but they're all dressed in like greens and browns. And then there's an older man who I assume is probably Finn McCool, dressed all in like sandy yellows and browns and oranges and everything. He looks like he's got like a big white wizard beard and everything like that. And they're standing next to like a lake or a moor of some kind. And there's this beautiful woman with very pale skin and like bright red lips and long curly blonde hair. And she's riding like a pure white horse with like a curly mane. And she's wearing this like long velvety cape that's all like cornflower blue with yellow like fringing around it and everything, and she looks incredibly regal. She has like her
she looks like a fairy. Like he really captured the ethereal. It looks
a little bit like she's riding out of the lake. And they're all standing next to it and just looking on at her, and she's not even looking at them, she's just looking off into the distance. It's very cool,
like a fairy. And then this is Oísin as an old man going to St. Patrick.
That's also a wizard.
What?
St. Patrick has the crook, the shepherd's crook.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Sorry. He's sitting on a wooden throne, and he's wearing the same like greens and browns that Oísin is in the older picture, kind of. And like a fur. He's an older man. He looks kind of like Jeremy Irons. He's got like a beard and like medium length hair, and he's leaned forward and he's listening really closely to this very, very, very old man.
Teeny
who's, like,
tiny.
super skinny. His like knees are knocked together, and he's leaning really heavily on a warped old cane. He's gesturing as he's talking, and he looks so like hunched over and crooked and thin. He's got like wispy white hair and a long beard, and he looks very upset.
Yeah.
Which you would be.
Yeah.
All of his clothes are like hanging off of him. Yeah.
That's Oísin. I fucking love that story. I think that story was that was before we started the podcast, when I first heard that, like a couple years before, and I always thought about it, and it really did like solidify my love of fairy tales. So I'm really happy to tell it today.
I really like it.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Go fuck you yourself.
Hey,
English.
Fuck yourself, St. Patrick.
The snakes were pagans.
Yep. You did cultural genocide.
But this was a nice story. What I appreciate about this story a lot is that at the end of at least the versions that I've always heard is that St. Patrick does do his due diligence of like, this is my job. This is my whole entire purpose on earth, is to save you, is to tell you about religion, is to do all this stuff. And I love that Oísin was like, yeah, I'm not interested in being saved. You're preaching a heaven that doesn't belong to me. I've already been to heaven. I have a family. The only thing I want, I would never go anywhere that excludes the people I love. And St. Patrick hears that in this story and is like, okay, and then holds his hand and helps him die peacefully.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've never heard a fairy tale like that before.
It's
beautiful.
Yeah. That is a very positive depiction also of like Christianity and like spreading the word of the Lord and everything in a way that is compassionate and does not exclude people who don't, like.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
It's beautiful.
I read a lot of like Irish stories from the Fionn and Ulster cycles as we were researching for this, and a lot of them have those Christian elements. And I would be curious to know if this story, if there's an older version of the story that doesn't include St. Patrick.
There is. There are a lot of versions of the story that end when he falls off the horse. And it's like, and then he becomes really old. And then later on, it adds in that they go and see St. Patrick. And there's a lot of versions of the story that end with St. Patrick saying, hey, this is how you convert. And with Oísin saying, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And that is always part of it. It's Oísin saying, I'm not interested. And then the versions that I heard were about, it went a little further of him saying, the reason why I'm not interested is because my dad's not in that heaven.
Yeah.
And that's not for me. So they all kind of like a little bit add on to each other, but it's still an extremely old story. It's not like it's not like a made in the 20th century story, you know, which I think is important. These are still very old tales, and they're still incredibly empathetic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that a lot. I think sometimes, though, like reading the stories, I know that I'm weird about Christianity and Ireland specifically. I know that this is something that I feel like I bring up a lot, but like the way
historically,
yes,
on a very historical level,
yes,
it's important to note.
Yeah. Christians invaded Ireland and wiped out a lot of the culture in order to... Most of the culture in order to spread Christianity. Mm-hmm. And that's not an opinion.
Yeah, that's a historical fact. And they were brutal about it.
Yes.
And they hurt everyone in pursuit of that goal.
Yes. One of the things, though, that I think is really interesting is to see, like, you have the various cycles of Irish mythology, and there are older cycles and there are newer cycles. I think there are 3 of them, and I can never remember which order they're in. Mm-hmm. But this is one of the earlier cycles, and you can kind of see, I think, there's like it's like Fionn, Ulster, and then the cycle of kings, I think. Maybe. Something like that. But you can see, like, the Fionn cycle, you have these sort of, like, later editions of, like, and also, he was friends with a saint, and you should be too. Yeah. And so it feels like that's something that, like, is added into the story. Mm-hmm. And then as you get further through the cycles in the history, it becomes more and more a part of it. Yeah. So there's, like, a period where it's like, and then he became a saint, and that's how we got this guy and everything. And then as you get later, there's kind of the backlash to that of, like, the stories of the cycle of and again, I wish I had written down the details of this because I'm sure that I'm wrong about it. But, like, the stories of kings and everything that are, like, historical-ish records from, like, 400 AD and stuff like that of real kings. And the stories a lot of times involve, like, Christianity as an opposing force in a lot of ways, where it's like, it is this person trying to maintain their culture versus this group of people who are trying to build Christianity. And a lot of the stories don't treat it that way. They're like, wow, this guy was crazy, and he was like, don't build a church on my property. Yeah.
It is very much, and if you're like, wow, that doesn't sound right, all you have to do is look at any other European culture. Yeah. And you see the exact same cycle. That's the reason why all of the Nordic stories and the Nordic mythology, we don't have any stories about the goddesses. And they had a lot of stories about the goddesses. They had them. We knew all about Frigg and Freya, and they were badass. And now they're just like, all of the stories are lost, and they are whittled down to beautiful, marryable, quiet. It's like, and we know for a fact, based off of art, that there was a lot more to them. And how all of the stories change when Christianity hit. How you could track how the stories changed and how all of the gods started becoming villains and destroying themselves and each other, and all of a sudden they're petty and they hurt humans, and they're bad actually, and there's only one god. And if you change your mind, then you'll be saved from whatever you did before. With Irish mythology there's no difference there, you know, like except I think that the difference is it's more brutal in Irish mythology. I think that they were taken down in a much more brutal way than any other part of the world. Yeah, it's also really heavily underlined because the Irish people have always been very vocal about the fact that they are like, our history was destroyed by the invasion of Christianity, and they've maintained that, and they're right. And today, and that's another huge thing, is you don't hear that as much with Nordic people or Scandinavian people, where they're like, you know, this is where we're at today. The Irish are still very much fighting for that autonomy in 2025, you know? Yeah. It's intense. Gotta love the Irish. And it's also, I feel like I should specify that Christianity, it's not like they were like, we want to erase you from history or whatever. They were saying, they came in and they were like, okay, we hear you telling these stories, but they're actually bad, and you should stop telling them. And here's why. And also they came in with written stories and with stories that had a canon that were like the Bible. You have these stories, and this is how they happened, and if you disagree, then you're wrong. Mm-hmm. And that was what made them so effective against cultures that were primarily oral tradition, because there was no written down canon, and if there was, the Christians destroyed it as blasphemy. Yeah. And also, they would separate people, so like, they could not continue those oral traditions. It's not an intentional thing, but it's a cultural genocide.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think that...
And that is intentional. I do think it's intentional. You can't let, I think that people knew very much what they were doing. You know what you're doing when you burn books. You know what you're doing when you separate people or take children away from their families and ban them from celebrating their culture or telling their stories or talking to other people. When you isolate people, you know what you're doing.
Well, I think that the cultural genocide of it is a consequence and not necessarily the intention. I think that their intention is... I truly think that a lot of people were like, this is wrong and you're going to go to hell for saying this, and I'm going to try and help you by making sure that you don't say this anymore because you don't know any better. So like,
see, I specifically give that pass to uneducated and poor people. Yeah. To the soldiers that were the soldiers, to the lay people that were like, no, I'm actually saving you. I'll give that pass because you're not educated. I don't give that pass to the wealthy or the people in power.
Yeah, like the Pope.
The Pope. Yeah. I don't give that pass to the people who were ordering people to do this. They knew what they were doing because they were educated and they knew about other cultures and because they had a financial stake in it. The second you're making money off of it, you don't get a pass. You knew what you were doing. You were committing a cultural genocide with a goal in mind. And the goal is financial.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Sorry. Woo! Oísin! Little
Oísin.
deer! Isn't it magical?
Oh my god.
Max,
Janey.
let's take a little break.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got
No, that's fine. Ooh, we can't do an Irish
visions of green and orange in my head.
All right. Okay, we'll be right back. Bye!
Okay, Janey.
Okay, Max.
Janey.
Max.
The story that I have for you today is an Irish story.
What?
This story is called The Wooing of Becfola.
Becfola.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't have a book for this. I found it online.
Okay.
It comes from Irish Fairy Tales by James Stephens, published in 1920. I looked up James Stephens, not a whole lot about him. He's an author, not particularly well known, not exclusively a folklorist, also a novelist.
Yeah.
But his collection of Irish fairy tales is a really good encapsulation of some of the stories from Irish mythology. So a lot of Irish mythology is kind of like Game of Thrones-y, where it's like all of these different complicated dynamics are coming in, and here's this guy, and you haven't seen him for 2 seasons or whatever, but he comes in and it's a big deal, and you have to know who he is in order to know why, and like that kind of thing. It's very complicated, but
there's not a whole lot of like Irish folktales for beginners.
Yeah, there's also not a lot of like self-contained stories.
Irish
a lot
mythology for beginners, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's not a lot of self-contained stories that you can just tell on their own without the greater context of Irish mythology, I think.
Which is also the problem that we had with like Arthurian stories.
Yes.
Yeah,
very similar. But his collection, the collection by James Stephens, has a couple of those stories from the like Irish mythology, and they're really nicely encapsulated, so they kind of do stand on their own. He gives you enough context to kind of get it, but not so much that you're like, okay, well now I'm just reading this whole book. So that it's a really good. He has like 6 of the most famous stories from Irish mythology in there, and they're pretty good. They have the story of Oísin, a couple of other ones. One of them is the Wooing of Becfola. The interesting thing about James Stephens, to me, is that he was friends with James Joyce, author of Finnegan's Wake.
Yeah.
They became friends because they thought that they had the same birthday. They did not.
Oh, no.
James Stephens was mistaken, shall we say, charitably. James Joyce, already a very famous author.
Becoming friends because you think you have the same birthday. Boys used to just be boys.
Yes.
The loneliness epidemic happened because you guys stopped becoming friends because you thought you had the same birthday. This is like, I'm sorry, my ex-boyfriend Cumhaill from high school, the good one, who's perfect and deserves everything in the world, his best friend Josh, they became best friends in the 1st grade because they had the same lunchbox. And they weren't in the same classes, but I think it was like a Ninja Turtles lunchbox, and they were both like, a Ninja Turtles lunchbox. And they would like see each other and make like little baby finger guns at each other. And one day there was an assembly, and in the assembly, Josh got picked to do an armadillo race. We lived in Missouri.
What's an armadillo?
What's an armadillo race with you? Basically, they have 2 armadillos, and you blow on their back, and you make them go. And you have to follow an armadillo and blow on his back, and it goes forward.
What?
And that was the assembly. We lived in Missouri.
Wait, there was no world in which I thought actual armadillos would be involved in the armadillo race. I thought it was they would have to wear their backpacks and run on all fours or something.
No. This is Missouri in the 90s.
Oh my god. That's so fucking wild.
And so they were like, okay, since we picked you and you're the winner of who we picked, you get to pick a friend to do an armadillo race with. And Josh, who was in first grade and was like, remember that kid that has the same lunchbox as me? He picked that kid because they had the same lunchbox, and they are lifelong friends. They are still to this day best friends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Boys used to be boys. Do more cute stuff like that, boys.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cute. They thought they had the same birthday.
Oh my god.
That's the reason why I would become friends with someone.
They were mistaken. James Stevens had a different birthday.
Sad.
But that was how they became friends. James Joyce was already a fairly well-known author. James Joyce was working on his Pièce de Résistance, Finnegan's Wake, a book that I have never and will never read. And he got really worried that he wasn't going to be able to finish it. He was like, it's too much. I feel like I'm going crazy. And James Stevens was like, hey man, it's okay. Like, you can do this. And James Joyce was like, can I just have you help me?
Oh, uh-oh.
And James Stevens was like, man, I can't help you. Like, that would be crazy. It would be crazy, right? And James Joyce is like, yeah, I'll have you help me. And we'll write together under we'll have a little pen name on the front.
Oh, no.
And it'll be James's, Joyce, and Stevens because they're both named James.
Best friends.
But also, in the style of Finnegan's Wake, the other joke behind that joke is that then it would be written JJ and S, which is what's on every bottle of Jameson. John Jameson and Sons.
If we wrote a book together, it would be something Higadoo. Or something Robigan. If it was your book, it would be Higadoo. If it was my book, it would be Robigan.
Robbins, maybe.
Robigan.
Robbins.
Higgins. Robigans. Robigans.
All right.
Higadoo. Max and Janey Higadoo.
Bad. I think that's really funny, though, that he was like, James's, Joyce, and Stevens. John Jameson and Sons. Whiskey. We're alcoholics.
Yay.
So that's the story of James Stevens. Back to the wooing of Becfola.
Okay.
I went ahead and wrote down just the first paragraph of this because I think it's very fucking cool.
Okay.
And please remember, this was written in 1920. This is not the original story. This is a retelling of the original story that is it's an old Irish story. There are texts of it from various manuscripts, but this is a modernized version of the story written by James Stevens. Mm-hmm. So this is his creation, but also, I think, very fun and cool. We don't know where Becfola came from, nor do we know for certain where she went to. We do not even know her real name, for the name Becfola, dowerless or small dowered, was given to her as a nickname. This only is certain, that she disappeared from the world we know of, and that she went to a realm where even conjecture may not follow her.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dowerless, like dowry?
Yes.
Okay, so she was poor.
She had no claim to a dower.
Okay. So
That
poor. That would be. Or just
not necessarily.
Unmarriable?
We'll get there.
Okay. I'm trying to solve this right away. Do we just skip the story and I tell you the right answer?
At this time, the High King of Ireland was High King Dermot, not Diarmid.
Yeah.
Of the Love Spot.
Oh, I remember him. The Lancelot.
Dr. Diarmid.
The Lancelot of the Irish.
Yeah.
No, actually, sorry, not the Lancelot of the Irish. The,
Gawain?
Gawain. The Gawain of the Irish.
Yeah. This is King Dermot. Probably the same name, but I'm pronouncing them differently, and they shouldn't be pronounced differently, but whatever. King Dermot.
Yeah. Dermot Mulroney. Dermot McDermott. What are the names? Dermot Mulroney and Dylan McDermott.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Dermot McDermott.
Doug Dimmadome.
Doug Dimmadome for the Doug Dimmadomes. Unfortunately, I'm on my second mimosa, and we all know I can't handle my first mimosa.
You're on your 1.5 mimosa.
I couldn't handle the first one. Unfortunately, your story is fucked.
That's okay. So the story opens and it tells us that Becfola is a woman who comes from someplace we don't know where. She went someplace we don't know where. We don't even know that her name is Becfola. We know absolutely fucking nothing about her except that she was here and now she's gone.
So far, none of this will hold up in a court of law.
Where's her alibi? I'm also going to tell you,
please,
the reason why I wanted to tell this story.
Yeah.
The reason why I wanted to tell this story is because it is a rare example, I think, in folklore of a woman being down so bad that she ruins her whole life.
Okay.
Like,
what about Kashka holding onto the devil's back like a piggyback ride?
Yeah, but that was also like self-preservation kind of, and like she was like looking for something. Okay. This is her just being down so fucking bad. This is this woman being so horny that she goes insane. And I love it. Okay. And good for her.
Good for her. All right, Becfola. Game recognizes game.
We see this a lot in like fairy tales where someone will be like, oh, like a man will be like, I saw a fairy woman and I'm going to spend the rest of my life devoted to finding her. And it's very rare that we see that in women. And this is a rare example.
Okay, so, I like it.
We're going to go into it. She's a Booktok girlie living her dreams. And that's all I'll say.
Okay, I'm on board.
The High King of Ireland, King Dermot, is unmarried. Mm-hmm. However, he has a bunch of foster sons where all of the lower kings of Ireland send their sons to him as like a marker of their loyalty to him and as a gift and to say like, we believe in you to forge our future and everything. So he has all of these like foster sons that are actually the sons of other kings that he kind of raises as his own. Yeah. The title High King also in Gaelic is Ardrí. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, but it just comes up a couple of times in the text. So just, Ardrí is High King.
Okay, that makes sense.
Of his foster sons, there is one named Cumhaill, and he's his favorite. He's not supposed to have favorites, but he has a favorite, and it's Cumhaill. Cumhaill he's very slow to speak because he's very thoughtful and he's very honest and genuine. He is eager, intelligent, and modest as becomes a prince. And he is Dermot's favorite. And they will sneak out together. King Dermot will wake him up before anyone else is up. And they will sneak out of the castle together to go on little like one-on-one hunting trips with like one servant and their horses and their hounds. Just the two of them and their servant and their horses and their hounds to go out. And then they'll like spend the entire day out just like talking. And he'll be like, like telling him stories about his life. And then Cumhaill will be like, well, that's so crazy. Like, why did you do that? And he's like, well, sometimes you have to make the hard choice, son, and they just really get into it. Yeah. They love each other the best. Okay. So this is like, of all of his foster sons, this is the one that he's like, that's my son.
My boy. That's my boy.
That's his boy. I'm picturing them in like a little rowboat fishing with beers and like, yeah. Yeah. One day they go out to hunt. And they come across this river that it's rained recently. And so the river is totally swollen over its banks. And usually they might be able to cross it normally. But in this case, it's so deep and moving so quickly that they're not going to be able to cross it until they find like some kind of bridge or a down tree or something like that they can roll over so that they can cross. And they're looking up and down for some kind of ford of this river. And then as they're looking, they see a solitary woman in a chariot driving from the west.
On her own? Like nobody's driving it?
It's really interesting that you say that. It's really interesting that you say that. Okay. The king says, I wonder what it means.
Yeah! I also wonder what it means, king.
And Cumhaill is like, what means? It's a lady in a chariot. What do you mean, what does it mean?
She's not in the chariot. Is she driving it?
Yes.
See? I get this guy.
And the king's like, well, I mean, doesn't that seem strange to you? And Cumhaill like, no, she probably has somewhere to go. What do you mean?
Does she have a license to drive that chariot?
Okay. You need to chill out because the king says, well, let me tell you, because listen, I notice things and I know that you're young. So this is a good lesson for you. Okay. You got to pay attention to stuff like this because ask yourself, right? Why is a woman driving a chariot? Yeah. Why is she driving a chariot alone? And Cumhaill's like, that's a really good point. But like, I assume that it's her business or whatever. And the king's like, well, here's your other lesson. Nothing is a woman's business. Everything is my business. I'm the High King.
She doesn't have a lesson because women are notoriously bad chariot drivers. Oh no, she took out her phone. She's calling the police. She's calling the police on me.
No. I'm just gonna read this section of the text to you because you are clocking it literally one for one, and I don't like it. I wonder what that means, the king exclaimed thoughtfully. Why should you wonder at a woman in a chariot? His companion inquired, for Cumhaill loved and would have knowledge. Good, my treasure, he calls him his treasure.
Oh
Dermot answered. Our minds are astonished when we see a woman able to drive a cow to pasture, for it has always seemed to us that they do not drive well.
Oh no.
Cumhaill absorbed instruction like a sponge and digested it as rapidly. I think that is justly said, he agreed.
Women are bad drivers.
But, Dermot continued, when we see a woman driving a chariot of 2 horses, then we are amazed indeed. Mm-hmm. When the machinery of anything is explained to us, we grow interested, and Cumhaill became, by instruction, as astonished as the king was. In good truth, said he, the woman is driving 2 horses.
How can she drive those 2 horses when she's probably on her period? Gross, right?
Had you not observed it before? His master asked with kindly malice. I had observed, but not noticed, the young man admitted. Further, said the king, surmise is aroused in us when we discover a woman far from a house.
Where's her kitchen?
For you will have both observed and noticed that women are home dwellers, and that a house without a woman or a woman without a house are imperfect objects, and although they be but half observed, they are noticed on the double.
Yeah. Get back to the kitchen.
Like, okay, it's weird because number 1, women can't drive. Yeah. Everyone knows that. Yeah. And number 2, how's she going to drive in a kitchen? Oh, she's not in the kitchen? Like, how the fuck did that happen?
And also number 3, how is she not being attacked by bears and sharks right now? You know, they can smell the blood. I'm just befuddled. Befuddled, I say.
My notes literally say, well, women can't drive, so. And 2 horses? And alone? Away from the kitchen?
What the fuck is happening here? Where is your man?
Cumhaill is like,
I agree.
And you agree.
And you know what? He's right. Make women in the kitchen again.
Make them in the kitchen.
Make them.
Make them like a little gingerbread man, but a lady.
Make a little gingerbread lady. Make me a sandwich.
Do it. Dermot.
Dermot! It's important that you say his name like damn it for the
The king says, we shall ask this woman for information about herself.
Hey! Hey, you go! Where's your kitchen? What's up?
Cumhaill agrees, and he says, let us do so. And the king says, I'm sorry, us?
Oh.
And Cumhaill like, yeah, let's do that thing that you suggested. And the king's like, no, I said we, because we're the king. We're the king.
I don't need a fucking wingman.
No. He makes this really weird point where he's like, grammatically, we speak in the plural because we are the king.
The royal we.
The royal we. He's like,
which is to say me.
Get to speak for all of us. You get to speak for you.
Cumhaill like, I gotta find friends my own age.
Yeah, he's like, we are gonna go talk to her, and you are gonna shut up.
You're gonna sit here and poop your little diaper. Little diaper boy.
Yeah, all of a sudden a woman shows up, and Dermot is like, actually, you suck, and you can go fuck yourself. Walk into the river, you idiot.
Walk into the river, little diaper boy.
And Cumhaill is like,
Dermot needs to calm the fuck down.
And Cumhaill is like, that was my mistake.
Oh.
May the king go and talk to her, and I will follow their lead. They start to approach this woman. She takes no notice of them. She's not interested. She veers her chariot into the river, directly into the river. And she, like, coaxes her horses across the river.
Women are bad drivers. She drowns right away, confirming his bias.
He's like, damn.
I was right.
Diva down. She directs her horses straight into the river with the chariot. And Cumhaill like, oh my god, women are such bad drivers.
We were right.
And the king, Dermot, says, no, she's not a bad driver. She's a good lady and a good driver.
Oh.
And look at how good she's doing. And you know what else? Hot.
What we aren't hearing in the story is that she's wearing a tight white t-shirt. And so when she went into the river, you could see her beautiful titties.
Her beautiful titties.
So now he likes her again.
So she rides her horses into the river, and at first they're both like, oh god, she's gonna die. And then they realize that she is actually an expert chariot driver. Yeah. And she's handling these horses perfectly. Mm-hmm. And before they know it, she is across the river and over to them.
Oh. Yeah. I thought she was going away from them. She's actually coming to them.
Yes.
Okay.
And the king says, she is in truth a wonder of the world and an endless delight to the eye. Okay. And then I'm just going to describe her.
Okay.
Because again, you're right. She was all that and more, and as she took the horses through the river and lifted them up the bank, her flying hair and parted lips and all the young strength and grace of her body went into the king's eye and could not easily come out again.
Mm-hmm. She hot.
So she rides across the river towards them, and the king calls out to her and says, "Halt, my lady!" Mm-hmm. And she sort of slows her horses down but doesn't stop, and she's like, who are you to tell me to halt?
Yeah, who the fuck do you think you are?
And the king is looking at her rapt. He is like, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Erect. Fully erect. Meanwhile, she is keeping eye contact with the king, but she is looking at Cumhaill.
Because she's probably more Cumhaill's age, if we're being honest.
Absolutely.
King's like 50 and she's like 18.
Yes, 100%. Ooh. But she is looking at Cumhaill, who is a very handsome young man. He has like broad shoulders. He's like battle trained. He's got these curly, like these little brown curls that fall across his forehead and like bright, clear eyes. And she just cannot stop looking at him. Meanwhile, the king doesn't notice because he's too busy looking at her, not her eyes, to be clear.
Her titties. Her
titties.
I'm a feminist. I'm a little drunk.
She says, "Why should I halt for you?" And Cumhaill, scandalized, and someone would talk back to his dad, says, "Halt for Dermot."
And I break for Dermot. Should we make bumper stickers?
And she looks between Cumhaill and Dermot, and she says, "There are Dermots and Dermots in the world." She's like, I don't know who Dermot is. Why the fuck should I break for Dermot?
Are you saying dirt mouth?
Are you saying damn it?
Are you saying damn it? I don't.
By Blink-182.
Hey, I'd halt for that.
I'd halt for damn it.
I break for damn it by Blink-182.
And Cumhaill, scandalized yet further, says, "Yes, but only one of the Dermots is the High King of Ireland." And she nods and processes this information, and she gets down from the chariot and she bows to the king and waits for his instruction because he's been like, halt. And she's like, okay, now what? What do you want?
I've halted. Wow, how can I help you?
Dermot walks up to her and says, "What is your name?" And she says, "Not telling."
Oh, none of your business.
Yeah, she's like, actually, I don't want to tell you. So... And he says, okay, well, where are you coming from? And she's like, that really doesn't seem like your business either. And he's like, okay, well, where are you going? And she's like, again, really doesn't seem like your business. And he's like, it kind of is my business. I'm the king. And she says, it's actually not anybody's business except for mine.
This is like when people get pulled over by the cops and they're like, actually, you have no jurisdiction to do this. No, you can't search my car. No, I'm not going to turn off my phone. No, you can't have my ID.
That is the exact energy.
Call your supervisor. I want to speak to your manager.
Yeah. I'm also not exaggerating that much.
No, I'm not taking a breathalyzer.
No.
You have to do a blood test. Yes, I'll come in.
I'm not making this... I'm not embellishing this. The king's like, what's your name? And she's like, not your business.
Good.
Yep. And the king's like, it's probably my business because I'm the king. And she's like, it's not your business though, because it's not anyone's business except for my business. So, any other questions?
Thoughts, prayers?
Cumhaill gasps at this.
He's scandalized.
He's scandalized.
Oh my God, she's gonna corrupt him. She's gonna what's it called when you
radicalize him?
Yeah, she's gonna radicalize him.
The king grabs Cumhaill arm and walks a few feet away with him and is like, hey man, you've got to be cool. And Cumhaill like, she's being so mean to you. Does she know that you're the High King? Does she know? I told her. Was she listening? Does she know that you're the High King Dermot? And Dermot is like, well, she's right. I don't have the jurisdiction to ask her where she's coming from, what she's doing, who she is. It's not my business. She's just minding her business, actually. And you know what? I was wrong. Women do have their own business.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, feminist icon.
Yeah. And Cumhaill is like, what? It's not the king's business. Oh, that's not the king's business. And Dermot is like, no, it's not my business.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been asking questions that have nothing to do with me. And Cumhaill like, wow, okay. Yeah. No, I hear you. I get it. Thank you. This has been a lesson. And Dermot's like, now I do have some questions that are pertinent to me. And Cumhaill like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I got to ask her a couple of things about me.
Like, where's my hug? Taking a shower without me?
Haha, and what would you be doing if I was there?
Yeah.
He says, the only question that I have for her, that I have, reason to ask, is whether or not she's going to fucking marry me. And Cumhaill like, you what?
Oh, man.
And the king's like, yeah, that's our future. Her past is her past, but our future is our future. So I'm just going to ask whether she's going to marry me or not.
Romantic.
And then he walks up to her and he says, we wish you to be our wife.
Ooh.
Not really asking.
We wish you. And she's like, you and Cumhaill?
Who exactly?
Who's we?
He walks up to her and asks her to be his wife, tells her that he wants her to be his wife.
Yeah. She
looks at him and she smiles and she graciously accepts his hand.
Oh.
And they prepare to set off together. If someone was looking very closely, they would see that she shed a single tear for the beautiful youth Cumhaill.
Oh.
And only one, because she is now about to become the High Queen of Ireland. If the High King of Ireland asks you to be his wife, you don't say no.
I feel like she would.
And she also is basically, she's like, this is not the ideal situation, but there is no other situation that I get out of this, really. Sure. So I'm just going to have to get over it.
Okay.
And that's how she acts about it. Mm-hmm. They go back to Dermot's castle and they are very quickly married. He never asks her again for her name. He's learned his lesson. So he just never knows her name.
What the fuck?
And also, she never offers it up. So from then on, she is called Becfola the Dowerless because, as she didn't tell anyone her name or where she came from or where she was going, she had no dowry to offer.
This is hot of her.
I know.
Yeah, that's cool, actually.
And Becfola literally means dowerless. So they're like, hey, mystery woman.
Yeah.
And that's just her name now.
Amazing.
And I think that's cool and hot.
That is cool and hot.
They begin their life together, and the king is deliriously happy. He is thrilled with his beautiful, mysterious wife. She is a great queen, and she's a great wife, and she is not happy.
Oh, no.
She always performs her duties. She treats people fairly, and she is kind to everyone. She never lets it slip, but when she is, on the very rare occasions that she is alone, she pines over this boy, Cumhaill.
Oh, no. That dweeb?
That dweeb?
He was such a dweeb. Why'd she like him?
Actually.
Why was she so into him?
He is very hot.
All right.
We don't know where she came from. That might be the first hot boy she's ever seen.
That's fair.
I'm just going to read this. And let me just remind you of just how cosmically down bad she is.
Okay.
For to her mind, he was the sunlight in the sun, the brightness in the moonbeam. He was the savor in fruit and the taste in honey. And when she looked from Cumhaill to the king, she could not but consider that the right man was in the wrong place. She thought that crowned only with his curls, Cumhaill Mackay was more nobly diademed than any of the masters of the world, and she told him so.
Max, I have to apologize. I didn't realize he had curly hair.
I said it so many times.
I'm sorry. I get it now. There's something about a boy with curly hair. You slut. Yeah, I get it.
So she thinks that this, like, noble, kind, sweet, quiet young prince is better suited to the position of king than her husband, the king, and she tells him that.
Him? Who?
Cumhaill.
Oh, not the they.
No. She goes to Cumhaill and she tells him how she feels. And at first, Cumhaill is like, what? That's illegal.
Scandal! But then he gets radicalized. Is this like a Macbeth story?
Kind of.
Cool.
He is shocked and scandalized.
Yeah.
And he immediately runs away. And then he remembers that he lives there and can't actually run away. And they have to be around each other all the time. And he's really weird about it. And then she's like, no, I'm sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable. I just wanted to tell you how I feel. If you don't feel the same, then that's okay. And he's like, of course I don't feel the same. What? That's crazy. I mean, obviously you're like the prettiest, nicest, smartest person I've ever met, but like, ew.
Unless.
Yeah. And then he like keeps going off on his own. And then like they run into each other and he's like, I just need to like, I'm just so mad about those things that you said. And like, just really quickly, could you like tell me again what you mean? And she's like, yeah, I mean that I'm in love with you and I want to be with you. And he's like, ugh. Yeah, all right.
Okay.
So eventually, like, it's not that she wears him down, it's that he becomes accustomed to the idea and realizes that he loves her too.
That's still not great.
It's not great.
It's still not great. That still feels like an imbalance of power.
It does.
Yeah.
It definitely does. It's not great.
Okay.
But the way that the story presents it is basically that he's like, what? And then like the shock of it. And he's like, no, gross. And then he's like, actually though, like, if I actually think about it.
Maybe we kissed a little.
Maybe. So they talk and they become determined to flee together and start a life together.
Okay.
One morning, the king wakes up in his bed. And also, okay, I know we started this story. And Cumhaill is a narc.
He is.
And the king is a misogynist.
Yeah, he is. In fact.
But it's important to remember that everyone in this story is so, so hot.
Okay.
I just need you to remember that.
Give me the cast.
Who's aging really well?
J.K. Simmons is aging fucking beautifully.
He is.
Christopher Maloney, aging fucking beautifully.
I'm picturing
Denzel not Denzel. Oh, also Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
But I was thinking Idris Elba, aging fucking beautifully.
Idris Elba's probably the closest.
Idris Elba, and that means Cumhaill could be Michael B. Jordan.
Could be. Could be wrong.
Who else is aging beautifully? Not aging beautifully, but it's young and hot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dev Patel.
Oh my god.
If you had to go between Idris Elba and Dev Patel, would you be able to?
I would go between them.
Woo! Max!
Twist my arm.
All right, continue with your goddamn story, you horny monster! Stop it!
Just important to remember, everyone in the story is very, very hot and very charismatic and cool.
Yeah.
The king, again, a misogynist, but also one of the hottest people in the kingdom.
Got it.
Cumhaill, also one of the hottest people in the kingdom.
Beautiful.
Just so you know.
Okay.
So I'm going to present this scene. And James Stevens spends a little bit of time on this scene. And over the course of this story, he like kind of speeds up the pace a little bit. I think he kind of got like tired of explaining everything. But he spends a lot of time on this scene, and I think it's really cool.
Okay.
One morning, the king wakes up and he finds that Becfola is getting out of the bed. Mm-hmm. He cracks one eye open and he looks around the room and it is still dark. If he looks very closely, he can see like the crack in the window. There is the tiniest amount of what could perhaps generously be called light coming in. But it is like before dawn significantly.
Yeah.
And he like looks around the room. It is completely dark and Becfola is up and she is getting dressed. He rolls over and he asks her where she's going. And she turns to him, she kind of like talks to him over her shoulder and she's like, I have an engagement. And he says, this is this is not the time to be having an engagement. It is so early.
Yeah.
It is not even the sun is up. Why are you up?
There's this old saying, ass crack of dawn.
Mm-hmm. We're in the taint of dawn right now.
We're in dawn's stinky taint. Go to sleep.
We're in the gooch of dawn.
We're in the gooch of dawn. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
I just feel like it's really important to remember that he's very hot in this moment.
Got it. He's so hot in this moment.
Yeah.
Idris Elba.
And he's like, this is not the time to have an engagement. Like, it's very, very early. And she says, let it be so. She's like, yeah, it's not, but yet here I am having an engagement.
I have to go to the kitchen to make that sandwich. Cannot wait.
And he says, and what is the engagement that has you up so early at this ridiculous hour of the morning?
Oh my God. Sorry, I'm stopping you.
Okay.
It's Mads Mikkelsen and Hugh Dancy.
Yeah, all right.
How do you choose?
And she says, well, I have to go pick some things up. And he's like, what do you have to pick up before dawn?
Yeah.
She says, well, I went to the store and I got some dresses and some jewelry and I have to go pick them up.
The store?
The store.
That's very modern.
The tailor or whatever.
Sure. I went to Ye Old Food Lion. But the lion has an E, and so does the E. The food.
And
lion.
It's YEOLDELYON.
Ye Old Food Lion. And they sell dresses. Don't worry about it.
She's like, I ordered some dresses and some jewelry. I have to go pick them up from the store. And he says, at this hour, the bed is better than the road.
I agree.
And moreover, a Sunday journey brings bad luck.
That's true.
He's now awake enough to remember what day of the week it is. And it's Sunday. And that's not lucky.
It's a Lord's Day. No stopping.
That's the Lord's Day.
You can go to Ye Old Food Lion later.
Yeah. That's what he tells her. He's like, you can go later in the day, or better yet, it's Sunday. Why don't you go tomorrow? Come back to bed. And she's like, no, I have to go get these things. Like, they're waiting for me, and I just want to have them now.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, but you could also have them tomorrow. And right now, you could be in this very warm bed. She's like,
no.
Those are two options that I have. And the option that I'm going to do is the dresses. And he's like, what is so important about these dresses? And she's just like, they're important to me. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? I don't ask why you're doing the things that you're doing all day.
Yeah.
Like, mind your business. Woo. And he says, all right, to keep a cat from cream or a woman from her gear is not work for a king. Where he's like, I'm the king. I shouldn't be convincing you to stay here. Go do whatever the fuck you want.
True.
The king very specifically, personally, and vehemently hates it when people do things on Sundays. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of a religious thing. It's like, Sunday's the Lord's Day. You're not supposed to do work on a Sunday. Yeah. But also, that's his day. The story says that he's like, nobody should be doing anything on a Sunday. The Sunday is the day that I relax. It is the one day that I get a week that I don't have to be the king because nobody's supposed to be doing anything, which means I don't have to take care of anyone doing anything.
When you say it like that, I agree with him.
Yeah. The story says that if he could, he would tie the birds' legs to branches so that they could not get up and fly around. He like goes out on Sunday morning and he goes up to the top of the castle and he looks out around to make sure that nobody's doing anything. He's like, everybody chill.
Yeah, but doing that, he's doing something.
That's really true.
Yeah.
That's really true.
What you need to do is delegate. Classic leadership.
But then they're doing stuff.
Yeah. They can handle the stuff that he doesn't want to do on his days off. He needs a leadership course. He could if he had a leadership course.
So this is like kind of a personal affront to the king, but he loves his wife very much. And so he kind of gives her a little bit of more of a pass than he would give to anyone else doing something on a Sunday. Yeah. And also he wants to see her pretty dresses.
He loves pretty dresses.
Yeah. So she finally gets out of the room and she goes off to leave. She has determined to meet Cumhaill at Clondakale. Okay. Dakale?
Yeah.
Clondakale? Sounds
Klondike.
right.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Not much. They're good, but not that good.
Honestly, I don't like frozen things on my teeth.
So true. She is determined to meet Cumhaill before dawn at this nearby area that like Cumhaill's family this like place that they own nearby. So she goes out herself, a small bag of things, and she brings one maid with her. Mm-hmm. And they set off to go to Clondalkin. They walk out of Dermot's castle, and as they pass beyond the gates of the castle, something strange happens. She walks out not just into the outside of the castle, but into someplace further yet outside of that. Mm-hmm. And in a moment, she forgets what she is doing. She remembers that she is going somewhere, but she doesn't remember Cumhaill, and she does not remember the appointment that she has made. And her maid doesn't either. Quote, "She traveled through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind, a journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of imagination. She just crossed over into the Twilight Zone." Just kidding. That's not a quote.
Oh my God, I was like, what?
Just kidding, that's not a quote. But she does cross over into the Twilight Zone. As she walks through this doorway, she accidentally walks through a doorway, not outside of the castle, but into Tir na Nog, basically. Yeah. This like semi-parallel ethereal plane that is just a little bit offset from ours.
And she forgot everything that was important to her.
And she forgot about Cumhaill. Yeah. She forgot what she was doing. I think she still like remembers him as a person, but she forgets what she was doing.
Yeah.
And she doesn't remember like being in love with him or wanting to go and meet him or anything like that.
Yeah.
They pass into this world that looks exactly like their own. But as they're walking around, things just seem like a little bit strange. And they see people that they know, but as they get closer, they realize that they don't know them, and the people don't react to them, and they don't really react to the people. It's just they're kind of living in this like weird liminal space.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem strange to them, which is, I think, part of the magic of it, is that they notice that all of these things are different and that they are strange. Mm-hmm. And that seems to them as natural as anything in the world.
It's kind of cool that her maid is with her.
Yes. So they walk and they sort of exist in this weird liminal space. Mm-hmm. After a time, Becfola stops walking and she turns to the maid and says, "I do not know where we are." And the maid says that she also doesn't know where they are. Yeah. And Becfola says, "Yet, if we continue to walk straight on, we shall arrive somewhere." And so they keep walking. She's so right, actually.
That's a really good way to think about it when you're lost. If I just keep going, I'll be somewhere.
Yeah, eventually I'll end up in a different place than the place that I am, so.
Yeah.
And I know that here is lost, so.
The only place that doesn't work is if you're lost in, like, the Black Forest in Germany.
Why?
Isn't that, like, the most dense forest in, like, the world? Like, you can keep walking forever, you'll just still be in the forest.
Oh, I don't know. Probably, though. That sounds right. Mm-hmm. Or the Forest of Markwood. They continue walking. And the sun starts to go down. It has been an entire day of them walking almost. Mm-hmm. And as the sun starts to go down, the maid, who has been not handling this well, mm-hmm. for the record, she's not down to just go on a walk and be lost. Becfola is handling this very well. She's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And again, neither of them remember what they were doing. But the maid, as they're walking, just like starts crying. And Becfola is like, what's up? And the maid's like, my feet hurt. Like, okay. I'm really sorry. There's no place for us to sit down, though. We have to get to somewhere else, right?
Yeah. Take off your shoes.
So she's not handling it well. She's like crying and she's falling behind, and Becfola is having to like kind of carry this maid a little bit.
Yeah.
And the maid, as the sun starts to go down, she looks behind them and she sees a dark and writhing shape moving down the path towards them.
Uh-oh.
And she gasps and she grabs Becfola's arm, and Becfola looks behind them as well. And they see behind them a huge pack of black wild wolves racing towards them at full speed. Becfola grabs the maid's arm and she says, run to the trees and climb one. They are like near this copse of trees at the edge of a large forest. And Becfola starts running. Mm-hmm. The maid starts running after her, but she starts like crying and tripping, and like, you know, Becfola's like holding onto her arm to keep her with her, but the maid is just like, I can't, I don't want to, I can't.
What? You have literally no choice.
She says, I can't climb a tree. I shall be eaten by the wolves. And Becfola gets to the tree and starts to climb it, and the maid does not. And as Becfola catches herself up into the tree, only a hand's breadth below her, disappearing the place where her skirt snatches up into the tree, the wolves descend.
Oh my God.
And the maid is right. and is devoured by wolves. Becfola escapes up the tree as the pack fights below. And for hours, as the sun goes down, she sits in this tree in like as securely as she possibly can in her like gown and everything like that. She sits in this tree looking down at these wolves that are barking and baying up the tree at her. And she does not move.
No.
All of the art of this story is art of Becfola in the tree. And it's really cool. Here's one for you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what a beautiful illustration. Pen and ink and watercolor of a woman in a tree hiding from all these wolves who are just snarling at her. She's in a tree. Fantastic.
Yeah. Really beautiful art.
Yeah.
She hides up in the tree and she waits. After the sun goes completely down, the moon comes up. The lead wolf, the alpha of the pack, sort of calls to all of the wolves.
It's time to do our podcast. We gotta go.
He calls all the wolves to him, and they sort of walk off into the forest. And the alpha wolf looks back at her menacingly, and she realizes that this wolf has very intelligently acknowledged that she's not going to move as long as they are there. So he's like, we're going to get out of here, and then we're going to see what she does, right? So she sits in the tree for a very long time. She looks into the forest, and she watches for any sign of these wolves nearby. She watches for more hours. And finally, after listening very closely to every snap of every twig in the forest and looking everywhere for any sign, for a flash of eyes, anything in the forest, she is fairly sure that the wolves are actually gone. They may have found something else to chase.
Yeah.
She looks around the forest, which she has become very attuned to over the past couple of hours, and she sees that now that it's like fully dark, through the forest, she can see a red flickering light some ways away. Very, very carefully, she climbs down from the tree and full sprint runs from where she is to where that red light is. Because as far as she's concerned, light means people, and people means safer than wolves.
Yes. Yeah.
She gets to this clearing, and in the middle of the clearing, there's a huge fire with a massive wild boar roasting over it.
Oh, okay. Good.
And next to the boar is a young man. She walks into the clearing, and she calls out to him and greets him. And he looks up, greets her. She asks if she can come sit by the fire, and he says yes. And so she comes and sits by the fire with him next to this roasting boar while he turns it. And from then, they are silent. She looks at him. He does not look at her. She tries to start conversations, and he does not acknowledge her. He will not look at her. He will not talk to her. When the boar is done, he takes his portion. She takes her portion, and they eat. After he's finished eating, he gets up, and he walks into the forest. And she, confused and a little bit offended, follows him. Yeah. She thinks to herself, she's like, I'm used to men not talking to me because I am the wife of the king. Yeah. But there's nothing about me right now that indicates that. This person doesn't know who I am or who my husband is.
Ignoring me.
And he is not making eye contact with me, and he is not talking to me to the point that it's like rude. Yeah. Right? But she follows him into the forest. Why would she do that, you might ask?
Because she's afraid of wolves.
That's a really good point. Yeah. However, that's not why. The reason why is because he is so hot.
I love Becfola. I love her.
He is so hot. The story says, but if the young man did not look at her, she looked well at him.
Yes.
And what she saw, girl. And what she saw pleased her so much that she had no time for further cogitation. She was like, I don't care where you're going, I'm coming with you. She says in the story that he is approximately 10 times hotter than Cumhaill.
Okay. Who's 10 times hotter than Dev Patel? No one. So that is Dev Patel.
Gotta be Dev Patel.
So the other one is Liam Hemsworth. I know. I know. He's the one that you would immediately be like, that's a good looking man, until you saw a Dev Patel.
Yeah, that's really fair.
Yeah.
She thinks to herself, she's like, when I look at Cumhaill, I am comforted. I am like, there is beauty in the world. And the fact that he likes me, I am like, wow, I can sleep at night. I look at this man and I'm like, I will never sleep again. For the rest of
girlie.
Yeah. She's like, I really like Cumhaill, but I don't like this guy. I am the thing that likes him. It turns out I'm like not even a person anymore. I'm just only thinking about how hot this guy is for maybe the rest of my life. And if not for the rest of my life, then what's wrong with me?
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, girl, calm down.
She goes bonkers.
At the end of the day,
like,
he's just a man.
Full like tongue rolling out, heart eyes, awooga over this guy. She's in shambles over how hot this guy is. As for sleep, she dreaded it, for if she closed an eye, she would be robbed of the one delight in time, which was to look at this young man, and not cease looking at him, while her eye could peer and her head could remain upright. So she's like, I never want to go to sleep again, because if I go to sleep, I'll have to close my eyes, and if my eyes are closed, then they're wasted, because they're not looking at him.
Jesus fucking Christ. Unfortunately, I said before it was Mads Mikkelsen, he was Dancy, and then this is Dev Patel.
Yes.
And that is unfortunate because he Dancy is beautiful. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Dev Patel.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
That's an unfortunate.
So she, again, full like tongue unrolled, heart eyes, awooga.
Yeah.
Follows him through the forest, and he keeps walking for a while. They get to the edge of the ocean, and he pulls up a little rowboat. And he gets into the rowboat, and she gets in behind him.
Oh, we're both going.
Okay. He doesn't react to this, and he still doesn't look at her or talk to her.
Yeah.
He rows the little boat. Again, the layout of a rowboat, they're facing each other, and he's just rowing the boat, and definitely specifically not making eye contact with her, but they are face to face.
Okay. In this situation, Max, I've been in this situation. If anybody is quiet near me, I talk 10 times as much as I normally do.
That is true.
It is impossible to ignore me. I will be making jokes. I will be saying weird shit. I'll be just doing shit to get you to react. You will talk to me. He will not. Oh, well, then he'll have to listen to me for the entire time we're on that goddamn ocean.
Yes, he will. It doesn't say that she's talking or anything like that, but I do like to believe that she's so... What's your favorite book? And he's just not reacting at all.
I guess the order is number 1, because of the nostalgia. Number 4, because of the trauma. Number 7, because the ending is good. Number 3, because I like Sirius. Number 5, I'm reading the Harry Potter books. That's the entire conversation.
Yep.
Let's talk Hunger Games.
Listen. He rows the boat to a beautiful little island out in the ocean. It's all wooded, and he docks the rowboat. They both get out, and he walks through the forest with a sense of direction and purpose. And she follows him. And eventually they break into this clearing, and in the clearing there's this huge, beautiful silver castle that is incredibly well appointed, completely abandoned. There's nobody inside. He walks in, and she follows him, and he kind of makes himself at home. He prepares a small meal for himself, and she eats some of it. He leaves enough, I guess. It doesn't seem like he's not offering her food.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm cooking this food for both of us, so you have some, but he's not like, here, have some food. He's being very weird about it. And then he curls up and goes to sleep. And she tries her best not to fall asleep, because she's like, what's the point of eyes if they aren't looking at that hot, hot bod?
Oh my God, I keep forgetting. Girl, calm down.
No, she can't, and she won't. She stays awake for as long as she can, but eventually sleep overtakes her. She wakes up, and it is morning again. She wakes to the sound of voices. A loud voice calling, "Come out, Fionn! Come out, my heart!"
His name is Fionn?
Yeah.
Okay.
She sits upright very quickly, and she walks outside of the castle, where she sees Fionn, this man that she's been with for the whole night, and he is still putting on the last of his armor as he's walking out onto the lawn. Mm-hmm. 3 men come from somewhere to the side and walk up and join him. Mm-hmm. And then 4 men come across the lawn towards them, and the 4 versus 4 face off.
Which one of them called Fionn his heart?
Well, I assume one of the ones who's with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's why he was ignoring her.
Maybe. There is a brief conversation that she is too far away to hear. And then she watches as these 8 men draw swords, and with all the decorum and honor of knights, and with all the ferocity of beasts, these 8 men set upon each other. The 4 men with Fionn and the 4 men against them. The battle rages on for hours. Again, equal parts ferocious and honorable. Everybody is doing their absolute best.
I just hope everyone's having a good time.
They are. They're all doing a great job. And at the end of it, 7 men lay dead. And the only one that remained is Fionn.
Oh my god. One of those was his heart. Or he was their heart. Embarrassing.
She walks out from where she's been sitting and watching, I guess, for fun. And she's like, that was a battle well fought. Great job.
Good job, killing.
And he turns to her and goes, my 3 brothers are dead, and my 4 nephews are also dead.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with him.
Yeah, it might have been a good fight.
But everyone I love is dead. Thank you.
Yeah. And she's like, okay, well, fuck, first of all, I didn't know that they were your family. Why did you get into that fight? Like that, I'm sorry, the 3 ones with you were your brothers. The 4 ones against you were your nephews. They're all dead. You're still alive. Why did you get into that fight? Like, what was that about?
Yeah.
Because you did great, but like, what?
Yeah. Also, if they're your nephews, that means that they were fighting their fathers? Are those his brother's children?
I don't think so.
Because he's just a lot of siblings. Right.
And she's like, what were you guys battling about? And he says, well, we were fighting for lordship of this island. And she's like, oh, got it. Politics stuff. Cool. So why wouldn't you like look at me or talk to me, and now you're like looking at me and talking to me? Like, did I have something in my teeth, or like what was going on? And he says, until I win kingship of this land from all claimants, I am no match for the mate of the High King of Ireland. So he's like,
he knew who she was.
Yeah, he knew who she was. And he was also like, I did not deserve to look at you or talk to you until I had at least conquered part of this land.
But also the first thing that he talked to her was to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Don't congratulate me on killing my family.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
He's a fuck boy.
Yeah, he really is. He's like, I didn't deserve you, but also you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Why is he like this?
Yeah. Short answer, because he's a fairy.
Okay.
He's one of the fae.
Don't
they're just
him.
like that. And they have a lot of feelings. So he tells her, like, I didn't want to look at you or talk to you because I didn't deserve you, because I wasn't the king of anything. Now I'm the king of this island, and I'm still, like, not going to be worthy to engage with you romantically until I'm the king of all these lands.
I gotta kill your husband.
Well, they're in this kind of, like, parallel place.
Okay.
So he's like, I've got to conquer all of Ireland too in order to be worthy of your hand. And she's like, well, that's a pretty good reason. I guess I can forgive you. She looks to him and says, well, what can I do? And he says, you can go home.
Oh my god, he's not into you, girl.
He's into the idea of you.
Yeah, you need to escape.
Yeah. He says, you can go home and take your maid. She's not dead, by the way. She's fine.
Oh, good.
As he says, almost verbatim, he's like, by the way, not dead, fine. And then I will come and get you once I've conquered all these lands and we can truly be together. And she's like, but I'm supposed to go without you? And he's like, you have to.
I don't want you.
You gotta get out of here.
I don't want you to come.
He says that he's going to come get her later. And she says, you will surely come. And then he says, by my hand, I will come.
What? This is Booktok. He's like, I'll be spanking about you later. You'll be in my bank.
So he promises that he will come and get her from the place that she is from.
That's not what he promises.
Wait. I mean, sure.
He's promising he's gonna spank it about her later, Max. Grow up. Say what the story means.
Yeah. And then with that in mind, she accepts his offer to go home until he's able to conquer all of these lands.
Sure.
Her maid appears, I guess. It's not really addressed. But she's fine, and she's alive, and she's with them now. And he escorts these two women back across through the forest and down the road to the place where the castle of her husband would be in a different place. Mm-hmm. And as they get close, he departs from them. Like, once they can see the castle, he leaves them, and they walk the rest of the way alone. I presume that the maid has a haunted look in her eyes. She's been torn apart by wolves, and now she's just fine. Or whatever. And they pass back into Terra.
Okay.
The real world, quote unquote. As they are walking into the castle, the maid goes off on her own, and Becfola walks towards the bedroom, and she's like, what am I going to tell my husband about where I've been for the past 3 days?
Yeah.
Because it was 1 day to get to the forest. I did the math because I was like, 3 days? I only remember 2 days. Did they spend a whole day fucking? But it was, they walked to the forest, and then they're like, overnight, there was the wolves.
Yeah.
And then they spent the day traveling to his island.
Yeah. And then a day with him fighting.
Yeah. Or no, I did that math wrong.
That's 3 days.
He gets to the castle on the second day.
Yeah.
They fight during the day and then at night, and then they leave, and it takes a day for them to get back.
Got it.
I did the math because I was like, all right. But she's like, what am I going to tell my husband about where I've been for 3 days? I told him I was going to go get some dresses, and now I've been gone for 3 days.
Yeah.
So she climbs the steps to her bedroom, and she decides on the way that she's like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, and he's going to be ready to yell at me, and I'm going to yell at him first. And I'm going to...
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm going to come in like, you are a terrible husband. And then he will be on the back foot. And then eventually I will give up on that a little bit. I'll like let him gain some ground. And then he will forget what he was mad about because he will be too busy apologizing for me for whatever.
Classic wife shit.
Classic wife shit. So she walks up to the bedroom, and she opens the door, and she sees him in the bed, sprawled out,
mm-hmm.
and his eyes open, and he looks at her, and she starts to open her mouth to be like, and you! But as she does so, he looks at her, and he smiles, and he's like, did you decide not to go to your appointment?
Oh, no time has passed at all.
No time has passed at
She
all.
was in the fairyland.
Ah!
Gotcha. That was a fairy boy.
Classic fairy boy. No time has passed at all. And she's like, yeah, I changed my mind. And he's like, great, come back to bed. She's like, okay.
This is actually kind of sad. He seems to actually kind of love her.
Yes.
She's cheating on him with 2 different men now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Becfola, you're the villain. I was on her side before I knew that her husband actually wasn't a piece of shit and that he actually just wanted to spend time with her and was happy that she's back.
It's complicated, for sure.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, that reframes the story for me.
He really loves her. She does not really love him. Mm-hmm. And
she also didn't have to marry him, though. This wasn't like an arranged marriage.
I mean, it's kind of like
No.
It is kind of, you can't really say no to him, though.
But she could have.
Maybe.
She was already saying no to quite a lot of stuff. He doesn't have the jurisdiction to force her to marry him. This seems like she got married for money. Oh, Becfola's the villain here. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Maybe.
I was on her side up until now.
I mean, she was also willing to give it all up for Cumhaill, who wasn't even the hottest boy that she's seen recently.
I also think that's rude. Recently.
Oh God, he says this line. And again, I really feel like we have to underline how hot the king is.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yes. He says, come back to the warm bed, sweet woman, and set out on your journey in the morning. She, kind of shocked, gets back in the bed and curls up in the warm blankets, and he like puts his arm over her, and she just kind of stares off into space for a little while, like, what the fuck happened? And she starts to fall asleep, and she remembers that at the last moment before sleep that Cumhaill, if no time has passed, Cumhaill is at that place waiting for her.
Yeah.
He thinks that they are about to run away together.
Yeah.
The fact that he was waiting for her troubled her no more than if a sheep had been waiting for her, or a roadside bush.
She's the villain.
She's the villain, but I kind of love her still. But she's like, oh, I actually don't care about this anymore at all.
I got a third guy.
Yeah. Also, in her defense, the third guy is a fairy boy.
He's hot.
They got wiles.
Yeah, I would throw it all away for Dev Patel. I get it.
Yeah. So she falls asleep and they wake up to a late breakfast. The two of them go down to the dining hall. They eat a breakfast together. And as they are eating, 4 clerics are announced. And remember, it's still Sunday.
Yeah.
4 clerics are announced to the king's hall. And the king, miffed, tells them to come in. They come in and they're about to start talking. And the king is like, I'm sorry. What are you doing in my house on a Sunday?
Yeah, it's my day off.
The leader of the clerics, who the story describes as being this like thin, jagged man with like, he's very thin and he has this like hawk-like nose and like thin, shifty eyes.
Yeah.
And like tiny little teeth that are worn down. And he's like, all of his little tics are tics of like aggression kind of, where he's like sort of nervously like punching his own hand. And like twisting his fingers together and everything like that.
Yeah.
Just a nasty little guy.
Yeah.
The leader of these clerics says, we have been sent by our master, Milesius of Devonish. Mm-hmm. We have news for you. And the king's like, okay, tell me what the news is. And he's like, well, we were out this morning and we saw some men and they were fighting and there were 8 of them.
Uh-oh.
And at this, the cleric makes eye contact with Becfola and his eyes flash with hatred at her.
Uh-oh.
And she immediately knows what's happening. He says, there were 8 men fighting. We, clerics, obviously kept our peace and remained separate. Mm-hmm. And once the fighting was over, only 1 man survived. We went through these godless heathens who were all fighting, and on a Sunday, and we relieved them of their various goods and treasures.
Robbed their corpses.
Yep. And it came to a total of it's like the gold in the weight of 2 men.
Okay.
That they had on them.
Yeah. Which
is a fuck ton of gold.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And he's like, and our master, Milesius of Devonish, sent us here to ask you what portion of that should belong to the king and what portion to my lord of Devonish.
Okay. All right. Gotta pay some taxes.
Yeah. So he's like, he basically comes and he's like, we looted these bodies.
Yeah.
We're not sure whether they belong to you or us. So before we take it all, we want to make sure that you're not going to be mad at us. So how much of this do you want for this to be cool?
All right. That's fair.
And Becfola, having seen this look in the man's eyes, like, I've just got to get them out of here.
Yeah.
Whatever they saw, he cannot tell my husband.
Yeah.
And in order to get them out of there as quickly as possible, she says, let them take all the gold. I mean, look at these good men, these godly men. They, they saw the whole thing and they were good enough to relieve those heathens of whatever they had on them. And my king, we are prosperous in this kingdom. We need for nothing. And, plus, I mean, that gold was gathered on a Sunday, and that means it's unlucky for any but a man of God. So I really think we should, just take it all. Just take it all, right? And then just leave. How about that? And the king is like, my wife is a wise woman, and she is correct. Gold gathered on a Sunday is no good to a man like me and should be committed only to you, men of the Lord. So please take it all. And if I could ask, take it home, forge it into not a palimpsest, reliquary.
Okay.
Forge it into a reliquary. And if you really wanted to make me really happy, you could write my name on it and today's date. And also maybe dedicate it to my grandmother.
Okay.
A kindly woman who birthed a lamb, a salmon, and my father. Oh,
now I've got new questions about Grandma. What?
Yeah. And the clerics are like, of course, my lord, we will absolutely do that. And the king's like, great, so that's solved. Have a great rest of your Sunday, gentlemen. And the lead cleric is like, well, that's not the whole story, though.
Nope, get out.
Nope. Yep, Becfola is like,
goodbye.
No, I think that's the whole story, though.
And that's the whole story. Anyway, who wants a blowjob? Hopefully my husband. Let's go!
Hang on, because this is really funny. I honestly, James Stevens writes in such a cool, funny way. It feels very Shakespearean and like coy in a lot of ways. The story is not ended, said that glum, spike-chinned cleric. Because he's a little pointy.
Yeah.
The king moved with jovial impatience. If you continue it, he said, it will surely come to an end sometime.
But what if you just stopped talking? Then you would be done.
A stone on a stone makes a house, dear heart, and a word on a word tells a tale. So he's like, if you weren't done, why'd you stop talking? We're wasting time. Let's get to the end of this.
Yes.
The cleric wrapped himself into himself and became lean and menacing. He whispered, besides the young man named Fionn, who was not slain, there was another person present at the scene and the combat and the transgression of Sunday. Who was that person? Said the alarmed monarch. The cleric spiked forward his chin and then butted forward his brow. It was the wife of the king, he shouted. It was the woman called Becfola. It was that woman, he roared, and he extended a lean, inflexible, unending first finger at the queen. Dog, the king stammered, starting up. If that be in truth a woman, the cleric screamed.
I think Becfola needs to sit back and go, prove it. My husband can prove that I was here all morning. Can you prove I was not?
What do you mean? The king demanded in wrath and terror. Either she is a woman of this world to be punished, or she is a woman of the fairies, to be banished. But this holy morning she was in the she, and her arms were about the neck of Fionn. So he's like, I saw her.
Okay, fucking prove it.
Fucking prove it.
I would love to see your proof. Oh, we haven't invented cameras yet? This would never hold up in a court of law.
The king turns to Becfola and he looks at her like fully ready to believe her, whatever she says.
Yeah.
And he says, is this true, my pulse? And she looks.
Pulse. Oh my God, she's the villain.
And she looks at him and she says, it is true.
Oh.
She watches as his eyes go over with steel and harden, and he turns away from her and says, go then to your engagement. Go to that flan.
Go to the flan. Order the flan. Do it.
And she gets up from her throne and starts to stalk out of the dining hall. And then she turns around to her husband and she says to him, he is waiting for me. And the thought that he should wait wrings my heart.
Ooh.
And then she walks out of the castle.
Is he waiting for you, girl?
And Becfola is never seen or heard from again.
Wow.
And that's the end of that story.
Wow. Huh. Again, I was more on her side when I thought that her husband was this like really bad misogynist man who like owned her like property.
Yeah.
But he proposed. She said yes. Then it seems like he treated her really well and was just like really loving and faithful.
It's tricky. It's a weird situation.
Shitty in this. I don't think it's tricky. I think that Becfola is shitty. Again, I get being like in an arranged marriage and being like, I'm really sad about it. But like even when she said yes to him, she didn't have to. She had a choice then, and she already knew that she was wanting to cheat on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's shitty.
I love this story though because I'm really glad. I was hoping that you were going to go first for this episode.
Yeah.
Because I think the comparison to the story of Oísin is very cool.
Yeah.
Where she passes into another realm. She falls in love and everything like that.
They both go to Tirnanog at one point. Yeah.
And they both fall in love with fairies.
Folk.
I think that the difference though, there are a bunch of differences between them.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really interesting that for her, her family doesn't matter. You don't know her name ever. You don't know where she comes from.
No idea where she came from. That is interesting. I would be interested to know why she is the way she is.
Yes.
Where she got that carriage from.
Yes.
Do you think she was a criminal? Do you think she was stealing a carriage?
Maybe.
It's kind of great.
I truly have no idea. She could also be a fairy herself. I have no idea.
Yeah. There's something special about her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very cool.
Like, there's something magical about her and her way to call to men. I think that's something worth noting, is that she called to several men in this story.
Yeah.
Without trying to.
Yeah.
And not just anybody can pass into the fairy realm.
Yeah.
Not just anybody's invited by fairies to pass into the fairy realm, you know?
Yeah. And I do think it's also interesting that she makes this decision to like leave her husband, go off with Cumhaill.
Yeah.
And that is the moment when she passes through a doorway into Tir na Nog, right?
We've also never hear stories about women leaving their husbands.
Yes.
And I do think that is worthwhile. I just think that in the social scheme of things, she's the villain in this. But
probably.
But historically and folklorically, that's cool to have a woman who is like, actually, I don't want to be married to you anymore.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's kind of empowering.
I also really like, though, like...
But I feel bad for the king.
I do feel bad for the king. But also he was like, women can't drive.
I mean,
so, yes. He's
which
fine.
Is the reason why I was so on board with her from the beginning, is because that's how they set him up. But then afterwards, it seems like he really did just like cherish this partner of his.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
He wasn't a bad husband.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's, to me, that's the part that's complicated, is like, I don't know if he's a good man. I know that he's a good husband.
Yeah.
I don't know that she wants him as her husband, and I don't know that I don't know how much of a choice she had.
It seems like she had a choice.
I don't know.
She was driving a chariot. It seemed like she was setting it up to be like, if she had said like, that's none of your business either, or I'm not interested, she would have just gone. He knew his place. He doesn't have the place to force people to marry him, just like he doesn't have the place to force them to tell him their name.
Yeah.
Yeah. This would not hold up in a court of law.
I think it's really cool. I also think it's really cool. I think it's really interesting that Cumhaill is such a minor part in this story.
Yeah. Yeah. Little narc.
Yeah. He's like her absolute obsession. Like her days and her nights are spent thinking about him.
Yeah.
And then the second that like something else happens, she's like, oh, it turns out he actually wasn't that great. And I was just looking for literally any outlet, maybe.
Oh my God.
Who knows where the fuck he is or what he's doing.
I'm not a fan of Becfola, whatever her name is.
Becfola?
Becfola, yeah.
I think she's interesting.
She is interesting. She's interesting. I am not on her side in this story.
Yeah.
And Max is, can you guys text us?
I'm not on her side. I'm
Max
just not
right
on her side.
In every sense.
No, I don't think she's right. I just think that everyone's wrong.
Yeah. I don't think the king is wrong. I think this is a weird stance for me to take, but no, I don't think he's wrong. I think that, first of all, it is probably a sign of the times of why he said the misogynist things he said. I also think that he kind of showed that he changed a little bit immediately upon being questioned by her. I think he was like, oh shit, not only is she a good driver, which kind of like challenges my worldview that I was so sure of, but also now she's standing up for herself, and the only other question I have is, do you want to be my wife? And then she said yes, and he was like, great. Like, he didn't do anything wrong, and I also feel like he did kind of change a little bit in that moment because of her.
Yeah.
And then he, like, cherished her, and the entire time she had intentions to cheat on him. She had intentions. Like, there was not a single moment of that marriage where she was being truthful or honest. I think he did everything right.
I think he's the least wrong of everyone.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Cumhaill is just a fucking dweeb.
Yeah.
Cumhaill is pretty bad in this because he's passive and at the same time doing terrible things.
Yeah, he's not great.
Yeah. The hottest one is Fionn, of course.
Obviously.
Yeah, fine.
And he sucks.
Fionn is fine.
He was like, you're so beautiful and I just want to be with you forever. But for right now, you need to leave and don't call me. I'll call you.
And then she shows back up and he's like, fuck.
Beans.
Beans on nuts.
Yeah. I just thought that. I also really liked that Fionn was not like pursuing her or anything like that.
She was pursuing him.
She was pursuing him.
That is cool.
Which is also really unique in these stories.
It is.
There are a lot of stories where like a man encounters a fairy woman and pursues her. And there are a lot of stories where a fairy woman encounters a powerful and successful man and pursues him. There are very few stories where a powerful and successful woman encounters a pretty regular fairy man and pursues him.
Here's the thing though, is this is the story of like the horror story that men historically have said about women, where they're like, oh, that man's gonna like enchant her, and she's gonna fall after him, and women are so susceptible to this, you know, like think about like the Vikings, like the British were so fucking scared of the Viking men because the women were going to be seduced by them. Yeah because they were clean,
because they were clean and nice.
They were clean and nice and hot,
and they were like gay.
Absolutely not. But like men historically have just been so scared of women being seduced by, like, even being seduced by the devil. Like women are so easily seduced, and that's how they think of them. You know, I like this story where she's just like, fuck yeah. I'm consider me seduced.
And he's like, hi.
She's like floating along the air like somebody following the sun.
Yes.
Pie.
Yes. That is 100% the case. I also love another thing that I love about this story. I think that gender is a really huge theme in this story. I love in this story that she never gets in trouble for being a woman. And I think that that's also something that we see a lot in fairy tales, is like, oh, she's a woman traveling alone, and so she's in danger and stuff like that. And that's true, but also sometimes you don't want to.
But she subverts the trope in this. Yeah.
Yes. She matches up with a lot of the story characteristics of like a young man. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, she does.
Like if you gender swapped everything in the story,
cheating, including finding other lovers and not liking her spouse. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're completely right. Right. It's, in that sense, it is a very important story.
Yeah. I also love about this story that, again, I know I already said it, but like she comes from nowhere and she disappears to nowhere. And I think that that's really cool for the story, because, and especially her like never being seen again. It's like, okay, a couple of things could have happened. She could have walked out of the castle and been murdered by wolves. Could happen. Could happen to anyone. Yeah. Could happen to me today. Who knows?
Probably not.
I wouldn't be walking out of a castle, but
no, our house is a palace.
An important distinction. Yeah. Also, she could have gone out and spent the rest of her life looking for this man and never found him.
I was going to say, I don't think she would ever find him again. She found him kind of on accident.
But also, he wasn't looking for her before. So if he's looking for her, I think that she will find him. But I also think if he's not looking for her, she will never find him, and she will spend the rest of her life looking. So this is really interesting to me in terms of like morality and the like story quality of this, because there really isn't a moral to this story. It's not like, oh, and you shouldn't do that because, you know, like maybe she goes off, like there's a world in which this story is like her going out, she looks for Fionn and she finds him or something, and he's like, I lied to you because I don't give a shit about you. And then she like throws herself off a bridge or something. Yeah. There's also a world where she like walks out and he's like, my queen, come to me. And like they've run off together into whatever. There's also a world in which the king doesn't let her go and murders her for cheating on him. Yeah. There's also a world in which she says that it's true and the king kills all the clerics and is like, nobody saw this, nobody heard this. There's also, you know, like there's so many ways that this could go.
There's also a world in which she does spend some time with Fionn and then somebody hotter comes along. Because that's what what we know about her is that she's a little bit superficial. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he might be the ugliest of the fairy boys.
Don't say that about him. Yeah, I think that this story is really compelling because it is open-ended, but not in a way that feels unsatisfying. Yeah. It's open-ended in a way that I think invites questions and
I agree.
Moral analysis.
I agree. Well, that was fun.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that one. I think it's really interesting.
I love Irish stories. The old Irish stories are just so magical in such an interesting way. There's so much depth to it. And knowing even a little bit about Irish fairy tales and like Irish fairy rules, there's so much depth to all of these stories that like you can do this like cursory, like superficial telling of these stories and just know that you're only scratching the surface on what the actual world building is like. Yeah, that's cool. I think everybody should go read the Folk of the Air series, which is the Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. I think everybody should go read that. If you like things like fairy rules and like Tir na Nog, it's so well researched. That is an author that knows the subject matter so fucking well that you feel safe reading it because you don't feel like there's a single thing there that's not accurate. And it's a bananas series. It's so fun. So yeah, go read those. Read The Stolen Heir, which is the second part of that series. There's 3 books in the first one, The Folk of the Air, and there's Stolen Heir after that. And that's my favorite series I think I've ever read, was The Stolen Heir. So good.
Ever?
Out of the series? Yeah, okay. Absolutely. My favorite book I've ever read is Silence of the Lambs. But
everyone has that.
Anything to do with fairy folk, so.
It does have to do with Mads Mikkelsen and Hugh Dancy, though.
That's not Silence of the Lambs. Except for Mads Mikkelsen, I suppose. That's Red Dragon, which is also fantastic. Okay, anyway, we're not talking about my favorite books. Max, fantastic job.
Thank you so much. Fantastic job to you as well.
Hey, fantastic job to both of us. And happy St. Patrick's Day.
Hi, hi.
We'll let you know if we end up doing anything on St. Patrick's Day. Who knows? It's big in Savannah, but we always hole up in our house and avoid everyone.
I'll be making Bailey's brownies.
Oh my God, yeah.
So,
please.
Please.
All right, guys, we love you, and we hope you have a wonderful week as well. Please go join our Patreon at the $3 level to join our Discord. Or if you also want bonus episodes on top of the Discord, join at the $7 level. The links are in the bio. Send us a text. Let us know your thoughts on these stories, or maybe even just like your favorite Irish stories that we haven't told on this podcast.
Yes, always. Yeah. Always, if you have stories that you want us to tell, please send them to us. We can't promise that we will tell them, but
we would love to read them.
Yes.
Yeah, we would love those. You can give us suggestions via text, via the Discord, via our Instagram, via the email, sortofthestory@gmail.com. We just want to hear from you. Let us know. We love hearing from you guys. Somebody recently wrote us the nicest email I've ever read.
How I went to go to Frog Rock?
Somebody went to Frog Rock. Somebody lives in Missouri and made a special trip to go see Frog Rock, which made me laugh so hard because, guys, Frog Rock is in Waynesville, Missouri, where I grew up, and it's the weirdest, most boring thing you've ever seen. And my goal is now to make that a sight to see. Anyway, if you've got to see Frog Rock, please email us.
Yeah.
So funny.
We should have a sort of the story convention at Frog Rock.
We totally should. Except I'll never go back to Missouri. Okay,
yeah.
So no thank you. Yeah, reach out to us. We love you guys. And rate and review this podcast. Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts if you want to make me, Janey, happy.
And also tell your friends if you want to make me, Max, happy. Or do both if you want to make me and Max and Janey, who is you, happy.
Oh, okay. Max and Janey Higadoo. All right, guys. And we will see you in 2 weeks with another set of stories. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Max.
Janey.
What do you think is my go-to karaoke song?
Oof. I know you've told me this before, and I know I'm going to get it wrong.
I don't have one. We have like a list of things because neither of us do karaoke.
That one song that people always do at karaoke, and then you get mad because they only do the opening and they don't do the whole song.
Oh, fucking.
Yeah.
You talking about System of a Downs?
Yes.
Yes. BYOB.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They don't even do the opening. Look, the only time you ever hear that at karaoke is bachelorette parties when one of them will like set up their friend as a funny joke for that song, and then they just like giggle through the whole thing. And I'm like, you're not fucking cute. Sing the goddamn song.
You turn into that one genuinely terrifying scene from Birds of Prey with it's like, dance, Erica.
Yeah, but when I do it, it's good.
And you're right, actually.
And I'm correct. It's not a fucking joke, Jessica.
It's not a fucking joke, Jessica.
Goddamn Jessica. I don't know your go-to karaoke song. That being said, I do think that you would fuck up Rebel Yell. It's not Billy Idol.
Billy Idol. That's a good
Rebel
one.
Yell.
That's a really good one.
I don't think
have
we've ever thought about that, but I do think you. In the midnight hour, she cries the more.
The problem is that this is a genuine frustration. This is actually might be my part of my life that hurts.
Yeah.
I can't do a raspy singing voice. Like anything that has any kind of gravel to it, I can't do it. I just have a beautiful, pure clarion voice.
In that, you really do. So in that case, I would like to change it to the exact opposite. And yours is turn around every now and then I get a little bit lonely. And I think you should do that.
That's good.
Yeah. Total Eclipse of the Heart would be a great one for you.
I had a really weird, surreal experience. I was at this creative writing summer camp at UVA when I was in high school, I guess. And we had like an end of camp dance. And Total Eclipse of the Heart came on. And I never really thought about that song. I've probably heard it like 5 times in my life at this point, just on the radio, never really paid attention to it, but it came on and I was in this group of people and very suddenly I knew all of the words to that song.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just looking around confused and I was like, what? I was just like singing along and I was like, I feel like I've never heard this before.
It was your camp rock moment.
It was. It really was.
That'd be a good one. We already said Heart's Magic Man.
That would be a good one.
It's a fucking great one.
Eve 6, Inside Out.
What's that one?
Want to put my tender heart in a blender. I'll just spin around to a beautiful oblivion.
Yes.
Also, Flagpole Sitta, Harvey Danger.
I don't know that one either.
You would know it. Hang on. Let me.
I want to put my tender heart in a blender. Watch us spin around with beautiful oblivion. Rendezvous, then we're here with you. Yeah. Yeah.
I had visions, I was in them, I was looking into them.
That would be such a fucking good karaoke song. That would pump everyone up.
Yeah.
If we go to karaoke, really you should do that one.
Yeah.
That's a
Call Me Drives a Nova, Ike Riley.
I almost said Call Me Drives a Nova, but then you kept saying I can't do anything with like a raspy voice, and I couldn't remember if they have a raspy voice, so I just didn't say it.
That's really fair. Also, though, Only the Good Die Young, Billy Joel.
Yeah. Only the Good Die Young. I could also do Hey Little Girl, is your daddy home?
Fire.
Go and leave you all
Bruce Springsteen.
alone. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could do that one. I like
or
that
I'm
one.
on Fire, I guess it might be called.
I'm on fire.
Yeah.
Wanna take you higher. Oh, I'm on fire. It's too slow for karaoke, but
yeah, it'd be a really good one
that
at
song.
like end of the night, bum everyone out, make it go home.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
I've told you that my dad does that. He specifically, my mom makes him do his one trick where he sings that song with an Elmer Fudd voice. And it's really good.
Do it.
Oh, I'm on fire. He does it really fucking well.
It's a very good trick.
And like she remembers it every couple of years and she'll just be like, Mike, do the thing. He's like, I don't want to do it. And she's like, you have to do it.
You must, though. That was the deal you made when you married me.
Do Elmer Fudd singing I'm on Fire by Bruce Springsteen right now.
It's like that Instagram reel of the girl's boyfriend where she's like, I'm regrouting the tile as my boyfriend serenades me with Goofy's Pink Pony Club.
Pink Pony Club.
Gorge, what have you done?
Perfect.
Yeah, that's the perfect relationship.
Yeah.